You can step into my world, see the way I see it, no matter near or far. It is a sight worth seeing. Step into my world, see the way I see it. Rivah TV.
Good evening, everybody. Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to my stream. Make sure you guys hit that like button on your way in. Kirk, this is the first comment I saw. Okay, Kirk. So let me go ahead and fix this right now. Let me fix this right now because you know I have to make you a moderator on this channel. Okay, so now if you comment again, you should have your wrench, Kirk. So sorry about that. I just want to shout out to everybody. Shout out to you, TR baby. Thank you so much. Before we even begin, you gave me a super chat. Thank you so much for that. Kendrell, thank you so much. What's up, my fellow Rivah? Oh, that's so nice. Address in the chat. I love Kendrell. Thank you so much for being here. Eugene in the building. Okay, yes, I'm so happy because I know that I switched it up on you guys. Normally I do live stream on Mondays, but I had to change it to Wednesday just for this week for now. But I'm not sure. Maybe if you guys like the live stream on Wednesdays, then maybe I'll do it on Wednesday nights instead. You know, I like to kind of like leave that in you guys' hands. Kashan, hello. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, Montel. Good evening. Hi, Christy. How are you? I'm just waiting for more people to come on in so we can, you know, gather around, okay, and have this really good conversation. And of course, you know that I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to drop that link a little bit earlier. I don't plan on staying in here all night. I know normally when we get together, we be on here for hours, okay? So I'm not going to try to stay on for hours, but I do want to have a very necessary conversation, a very necessary piece of the conversation. Goldie, blessings to you. Thank you. You always comment blessings, and I always appreciate that. Thank you. Is it Dondrick Dem? Shout out to you. Okay, what's up, Dondrick? Hello, Jenny. How are you? Hi, Jenny. I love Jenny so much. She's so sweet and so kind. Yes, so I'm just waiting for a couple of people to get in, but I want to go ahead and give you guys a background to this conversation. Okay, so I know that the title of this video is I'm gonna manifest my husband and I don't need to work on anything because he will take me as I am, right? And you guys must be like, Rivah, what are you even talking about? Because we know that that makes no sense. But I wanted to kind of talk about two different aspects of the conversation. I wanted to talk about manifestation by itself and then also the process of manifestation when it comes to relationships. So manifestation on its own, you know, I'm sure you guys have probably seen or heard or books like, you know, like the laws of attraction, you know, what you think you will see, you know, even in biblical terms, believe it and receive it, right? So we cannot negate the fact that manifestation is a real thing, right? You do have the power to attract whatever it is that you want. You do have the power to rule your own destiny in a sense, right? In a sense, I believe that there is a cap and things are ordered a certain way, but if you want something, you have to work towards it. You have to keep it in your mind, keep it in your eyesight. You know, you have to focus on a thing. And then you will see it grow. Just like in the same facet, like you go to a car dealership maybe, and maybe you see a car that you like, right? And you're like, oh, I really like this car, or I really want this car. Then all of a sudden, you're driving down the street, you always see the car. It's because it's in the forefront of your mind. It's in your subconscious mind, standing up there strong because you know that it's something that you want. And it doesn't mean that you've never saw it before, but because of how your mentality has changed, now you see it more. Right now it's more visible to you because it's in the forefront of your mind, right? So that's basically what the power of manifestation or law of attraction is. Okay, it's when you see something, you want something, you say, for example, this is one of the tactics of like the laws of attraction manifestation. You see something that you want, you say maybe I don't know, maybe Eugene in the chat says, I want to buy a house in 4 years, right? And you get a pen and you get a piece of paper and you write down, I'm going to be a homeowner in 4 years. So it's more than just having it in your mind. It's putting it on a piece of paper to make it real life, right? To make it reality to you, because this is a real pen. This is a real piece of paper. So you writing this down saying, I, Eugene Steele, am going to have a house in this amount of time. That's making it real to you. Now, once you do that, once you do write that down on that piece of paper and you see it visually, it does something to your subconscious, because on the piece of paper that you wrote that information down on, it already is stating that it's happened already, right? Like, or it's in the process. So doing these things, it's proven. It's proven. Just the same reason why, you take tests. Thank you so much, Love All States. Just like maybe you take tests or you're studying and you have to write it down over and over again to remember, to ingrain that question, that answer, whatever it is, into your mind. It's the same exact thing with everything. Like, everybody has the ability to do this with literally anything. It all starts with a plan, with the vision, and writing that vision down as detailed as possible, and putting your visions on paper and giving yourself that clarity allows you to work towards that in real time. Okay, in being realistic. So it takes whatever's in here. When you put it down on a piece of paper, it makes it more real to you. It was already real when it was a thought, but the fact that you're taking your steps to take a pen, write it down, think it out, think it through, think how you feel, think how you would feel when it happens, right? Capturing those emotions in your mind as you're writing it down on a piece of paper. All of these things are very essential. Very, very essential. Yes, vision diary. Some people do vision boards, right? So they go get a magazine and they say that they want to drive, maybe this car, they want to buy this house, they want to, wear these kind of clothes, whatever it may be. And then they go get a magazine, they cut it out, they put it on a vision board. They see that every single day. It's engraved in their mind. So what are they going to do subconsciously? They're going to have to, use their gravitational pull and pull that thing to them, because it's all that is in their mind. And it's interesting because I had a conversation on Lapeef. That's when I was a guest on Lapeef. It was a while ago, a couple months ago, and we were kind of talking about certain things and like energy and like vibration and earthy people and stuff like that. And it's so interesting to me that so many people are so quick to say that that's not possible, or call things like evil or beneath them, when literally the same Bible that a lot of people that feel that way, or a lot of people that judge those kind of sentiments that they say, is in their own Bible. If you believe, you shall receive. So you can't receive it if you don't believe it. And what is it going to make you believe that you're going to be able to have it? Again, writing it down, making it plain, making a vision board, making a vision diary, like we see on the comment right here. I knew somebody who told me that they wanted to make a certain amount of money for a year span, right? They were like, annually, I want to finish off the year off with this amount. In the beginning of the year, they took a check. They wrote the check out to themselves. They put the amount that they wanted to see, signed the check, and they put it on their bathroom mirror. They watched it every single day. Every single day they looked at that check, and at the end of the year, they did finish off with that same amount. Okay, so it's embedding it into your mind. So I'm gonna hope that not just with that small explanation that you guys can get what I'm saying about the laws of attraction, manifestation. If you believe something, if you write it down, if you wholeheartedly use all of your attentions and you focus on that thing every single day, whatever you focus on will indeed multiply or magnify, and it will become reality. Okay, so I just wanted to say that point really quick. Let me read some of these comments. And guys, please, when you do come into the chat, just go ahead and hit that like button. Rivah is giving us wisdom. We would be wise to listen. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. People shy away from things they don't understand. So true, Kashan. So true. Hey, Bobby. How you doing, Bobby? And it says, you link with it in thought. That thought vibration is real. We really live in a river, for real, of thought atmosphere. Think of it like a real river where the swimmers think like you. It's so true. Like, whenever you put your mind to something for real, like whenever you really lock your mind and say, this is what I'm aiming for. And again, you write it down, you make a vision board, you make a vision diary, whatever the case is, and you are literally seeing that thing every day, or having that thing constantly in your mind saying, I'm going to work towards this, I'm going to work towards this, you do have the ability to be your own airbender and create the reality that you want to live in and that you want to see for yourself. Everything is not just about just doing this, the regular programmed things of just like, okay, we just go to work, we just do this, we just, oh, I wish, I wish, I wish. No, you don't have to wish. You can make your reality happen. Okay. It's not about wishing on a star. It's about actually putting those things into practice. So a lot of people, and that's why before we move forward, a lot of people don't realize, and I love what this comment said actually, that thought vibration is so real, because what you focus on is really what you will multiply and see in your life. What you focus on is really and actually and factually what will be happening in your life. Like what you focus on. That's why you have to be careful of what your mind is thinking, and be careful of your meditation of thought. Because what you think about all the time, you're definitely going to see it pop up, right? You're going to see it pop up. So I've seen a lot of people put this practice into relationship aspects, right? And the first time I ever heard this is when I was like a younger child, and I used to go to church. Oh, this is Edward. LOL. Hi. Okay. I'm sorry. Let me read these comments really quick. It says, Dorian Lewis, surprisingly, I have manifested multiple times, kind of by mistake, or at least I didn't think it would work. You'd be surprised. RM, the River TV Lives. Oh, thank you so much. Don GQ, I visualize my business. Now it's the #1 company in its field. Exactly, because you're focused on that thing, so it's going to amplify, it has to grow. The Ruckus says, what's good, Miss Jordan? Got in late. I'll have to watch the replay. Thank you so much. And for anybody who is watching the replay, we did miss you. I know that this was a random live that I just kind of popped up and did. Usually I do my live streams on Mondays, but I decided to meet you guys on Wednesday because I was unavailable on Monday. So if you are watching the replay, just wanted to say shout out to you, and thank you guys so much for watching. Kendrell says, so basically Thanos, before he got the Infinity Stone, plotting and planning to make it happen. Correct. Everything starts with a plan. Everything starts with a vision. Everything starts with a thought. That's how powerful our minds are. Like if you look at the roads that we drive on, if you look at the buildings that we see, if you look at the homes that we live in, like all of those things started with a thought. And when the first person thought about that thought, like, I'm going to make these roads to look like this, people were like, you're crazy. Like, what are you talking about? That doesn't make sense. We haven't seen it done before. It's crazy. But in actuality, when it actually comes to fruition, then people are like, oh, I knew you could have did it, But it takes that inner strength of being able to just focus on that thing. Doesn't mean that your family has done it before. Doesn't mean that you've seen it before. Doesn't mean that you've seen it done before. But if you focus on that thing, you can do it. Anybody who's doing anything had to focus on that. Okay. Thank you so much, Don GQ, for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So with that being said, now when it comes to manifestation, I have been seeing a lot of people talk about it, like on the internet, a lot of videos about it, a lot of streams about it, like, oh, I'm going to manifest a husband, or I'm going to manifest a boyfriend, or I'm going to manifest this, or I'm going to manifest that, right? The first time I ever heard about that was when I was young, and I actually was attending a church service. And in the church service, and I've heard a lot of people say it after, so I know it wasn't just specifically my church, but in the church service, the pastor was saying, oh, to all of my single women in the church, get a pen, get a piece of paper, and write down exactly what you want in a husband, make a list, and make it plain, and God will bless you. So you had a lot of single women who were writing down this list, right? They want tall. We already know. They want tall, dark, or maybe not dark, handsome, financially stable. They don't have to work, smell good, fine. They're just writing down whatever is appeasing to them. And they are expecting that through their faith, and again, through the power of manifestation, through the laws of attraction, that they are ultimately going to absolutely experience this ideal person that they wrote down on a piece of paper. Now, let me tell you something. Okay? Let me tell you something. The issue is that people think that how manifestation of the laws of attraction works is you just write it down and it's just going to happen. Again, we're talking about two aspects of it, because there's some people that look at this through the religious aspects of, if you believe it, you'll receive it. They have faith. And then there's some people who don't believe in religion at all and just use the laws of attraction and energy and all that kind of stuff, right? So there's two different mindsets. It's either the religious believe and receive, or it's I'm just going to manifest, I'm going to attract, I'm using the powers of the universe, and I'm not a religious person at all. Now, again, the power of belief, because this is when I think that it's gotten to a point that I don't understand. The power of belief and using your faith, right? Using your faith and using your belief system and praying, wishing on a star, is that for some people, I don't understand how they feel as though you can manifest or, pull something to you that you are not at first in alignment with. Okay? So let me say this one more time. You cannot attract, you cannot pull towards you, you cannot manifest anything that you are not in direct alignment with. It's not possible. You have to be on a certain frequency to attract a certain frequency. So when we hear these women talking about like, oh, I'm not going to be with no man, or I'm not going to be with this, or I'm not going to be with that because I have my list and God's going to bring me my husband. But at the end of the day, like, one of the things that you needed to learn was humility, right? And so you're trying to skip the process, talking about you wrote all this stuff down on a piece of paper and God gonna bless you with your husband and God gonna bless you with your man, and you don't got to worry about that because you're attracting him. So all these guys that's trying to get with you, they can move over because it doesn't look like what you wrote on a piece of paper, but not understanding that through humility and through evolution and also through connection, you're going to be in a relationship with somebody who may be aligned with those things, but maybe the visuals or certain aspects that you have on that piece of paper are not lining up. And it's because that's not what you needed in your life to be able to grow and evolve. Because that's what we're all here for, right? To grow, to evolve, to learn. So if you're just talking about like, oh no, well, I'm just, you're so, 10 toes down on your list. You're so high strung on your list and your thoughts and your this and all of this stuff. On your list, you talking about you want a man that's making 6 figures, that don't got no kids, that don't got this and that don't got that. And you're the person who is best suited for you, the person who is best in alignment for you, maybe doesn't have a kid that lives with him, but maybe has a child, and you talking about, oh, that's not him. That's not him. Because when people think that they can just write down anything, and listen, when I talk about manifestation, like I would have to do a whole different conversation. Oh, shout out to you, the lead attorney. Thank you so much for popping in. Shout out to the lead attorney. If I can have a moderator drop the lead attorney's chat in the comment section, that would be great. We love the lead attorney. He's definitely a friend of the channel. So shout out to you. So you have women that are writing down all of these, again, I can have a whole conversation about manifestation and all that, laws of attraction and all of these things. But we have women who we have pastors. Okay. Again, that's the first time I heard it. We have pastors telling them, get a piece of paper out, write it down. Thank you so much, Kendra, for dropping the lead attorney's channel. Get a piece of paper out, write it down, make the vision plain, and God gonna bless you with a husband. And we have these women who are writing with delusion of grandeur, okay, still not taking into account what the things that we talk about here, that they have maybe 2, 3, 4 kids, not taking into account what they look like, not taking into account their attitude problem, not taking into account the reasons why the relationships didn't work in the past, not taking into account their trauma from youth that they bring it along with them, not taking into account any of that, okay? And they just talking about they're gonna manifest Russell, okay? They're gonna do the Sierra prayer because Sierra done manifested her husband, and they're gonna go ahead and do the same thing, not realizing that they are not Sierra. Okay, and this is just keeping it 100. This is not, ain't no disrespect. We're just keeping it, respectfully. You're not Sierra. Okay, and then they're saying they're wasting years of being single, excuse me, and waiting on God to provide this person to come to them, to be in a relationship with them. And there's real people in front of them that are offering to take them on dates, maybe offering to take them out, offering to work with them. And they're like, oh, no, because I'm waiting on God and I'm doing the Sierra prayer and I want a man exactly like that. But you're not her. So what she has and the opportunities that she has, okay, the circle that she's even already in because of who she is, you're not going to get those same results. You're just not. Okay? You're just not. You're just not going to get those same results. So that's why I made this title. That's why we're talking about this tonight, because it's something that's unrealistic. For you to manifest, attract anything towards yourself, you have to be in direct alignment with that. So women think that they can just write down on a piece of paper everything that they want, and that they are just going to wake up one day and this guy just going to come knock on their door and he just going to marry them. Because God said this is her husband. And he matches everything on the list. Trying to skip the process, okay? Trying to skip the process that we all can't skip, because maybe you will get somebody who's everything on your list who don't love you, who don't want you, who's not the one for you, who's with you for the wrong reasons or using you, okay? Because a sneaky link is not being in a relationship with you. Calling you at 2-3 o'clock in the morning talking about, hey stink, hey big head, that's not the same thing. And a woman will stick around in that situation with that man because he meets her quote unquote list and her criteria that she's looking for. Criteria that she's looking for. But that's not even it. But you talking about, well, oh no, you're so gung-ho on the list. You're sitting here holding on strong to this list that maybe your pastor told you to write to manifest your husband, or the Sierra prayer. You holding on strong to that, but you're not doing the actual work. The real work, which is evolving. The real work, which is maybe I need to go to therapy because I have some issues that I need to work out. I've been in a lot of situations or relationships before, and they didn't work for a specific reason. I need to figure out what the bigger issue is. Okay, maybe I need to get in the gym. Let's just be real. Okay, maybe I need to get into the gym and work on my outer appearance. Because I'm talking about this baby weight, but I had the kids, 15 years ago. Like, okay. Maybe I need to be more on the dating market. Maybe I need to actually go forth and look for people in front of me. Maybe I need to be in the atmosphere of the men who that I want to attract or be around. Maybe I need to be in the atmosphere of those people. I can't talk about I'm manifesting a husband and I'm sitting in the house. That don't make no sense, because unless he's the mailman or the delivery man, how are you going to find him? Okay. I love this comment. It says, they're spending more time focusing on Sierra's relationship. Exactly. More time watching everybody else on social media, watching everybody else live their life and just saying, I wish I dream my dream. Oh, one day I wish I could have this. Oh, I really wish I could have this. Or, oh man, it would be nice, instead of actually doing the work to be able to have it. Instead of elevating themselves to be able to have a better relationship. And listen, I said this in I think 2 live streams ago, on my last live stream. That's the worst thing you could do, is compare yourself to other people. You trying to keep up with the Joneses, and the Joneses don't exist. Okay. You think the Joneses got it all together because they got a big house. The Joneses ain't even got no furniture. Okay. They just trying to look good for you too, because they don't got it together. You're comparing, every guy that you maybe go on a date with who is willing to give you a chance to, again, this imaginary list, to Russell, to Sierra. This stuff don't make no sense. Wasting valuable times, valuable years, valuable energy with hoping and wishing and praying that God gonna give you somebody. But not realizing that There was a lot of people who were capable of being in a relationship with you. There was a lot of people capable of marrying you. There was a lot of people capable of doing those things on that quote unquote list that you would have liked, but you were the problem. You were the problem. You were the reason why those relationships didn't work out. But it's easier to just go ahead and say, "Oh, they all these men ain't this, all these men ain't that." And you know what? I believe in my pastor because my pastor said that if I write my list down, I'm gonna get the right exact person that I want and that I'm looking for. So you go ahead and you go write that list and just waiting. Like Bob Marley said, "I don't want to wait in vain." They be waiting in vain. Okay, they be waiting in vain. Edward says their ego says they are going to get the same results as. Exactly. Their ego says they're going to get the same results as Sierra and better. Crazy. And which we know, first of all, if we want to even just talk about that exact situation, that is like definitely an anomaly, right? Like that is not the norm situation, period. And you know what I used to get mad at? I used to get mad because I'm not trying to say that who she had her child with, because I'm not into the gossip and the drama and all that kind of stuff. But I'm just saying, I'm not trying to say like the situation of whatever it was of who she had her child with, who Sierra had her first child with, and who that type of person was. But who is to say that he is a better person because he's not a baby daddy? Like, who is to say that this person that she's with is a better person than that person? Who is to say? Because none of us ever experienced, like, to know, yes, that maybe he had this and he had like other stuff, but he had children before that relationship even began. So who is to even say we don't know what happens behind closed doors. We really don't know. Okay. And yes, thank you, Kendra, for keeping up with the like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure that you guys do hit that like button when you do come into the stream. But I'm just being honest. Okay. Because we know that a lot of people who hear these things, because like I said, I've heard it first in church. That was the first place I ever heard somebody say that. Like, write it down, make it plain and all this kind of stuff, and you gonna do this. But a lot of people in church keep women single too, because it's easier to keep women who are single dedicated. Okay, I didn't say it, Scam Likely did. It's easier to keep single people dedicated to the church when that is their end all be all. Like that's their heart feel. That's what they go when they don't have nothing else to do. They're there Sunday to Sunday. After work, Bible study, maybe they're in the choir, maybe they're into this, maybe they're into that. So sometimes people like that those women don't have a husband, okay, and don't have the restraints of a household that will confine them to have to go in and be there for somebody else and take care of somebody else. No, they can't come to every Bible study because they got to feed their husband and their kids. No, they cannot go here or there because they have to go here. So I saw this comment. It says, Russ, just let her be like a single woman that's why they want a Russ. Exactly. That's a really good point, because that's a really good point for a lot of reasons. Okay, that's a really good point, because sometimes you want a guy that's gonna do this, and you want a guy that's gonna do that, and you want a guy that's gonna be as free and stuff as Russ, and as free as this and as free as that. But that's not the kind of man that you require, because for you to grow and for you to evolve, you need somebody that's gonna tell you to go sit down somewhere. Sorry, not sorry. Like, you literally will thrive better in a situation where you don't have a certain amount of freedom. And I know that's going to sound crazy. Oh, Rivah, what you mean by freedom? Yeah, what I mean by freedom is you don't need somebody that's going to let you just run around, roam around, and be free, because what you've done with your own freedom and your own free time without having the bounds of a relationship or a marriage, you've shown and proven that there's no growth there. There's no evolution there. You was with one guy, the first guy you was with, the relationship ended because you talked to him nasty. Second guy, same thing. You still don't think that you need to change. You still don't think that you need to grow. You still don't think that you need to evolve or do anything to change because this person is going to meet you where you at. And there's so many women telling other women, "Oh, no, girl, you don't need to worry about none of that. You don't need to worry about nothing cuz if he is for you, he going to take you just how you are." No, he's not. No, he's not. He's not going to take you just how you are. Because even women who are very capable of being great wives, submissive, cooperative, and all of these things, a man still has to do some kind of work to establish what roles that he wants to be established, what what boundaries and stuff like that is acceptable for him in the relationship. Like, you still have to be moldable to your individual man. You have to be able to be cooperative to get a man, right? And to get it and to have a functional relationship. But to each individual man, you have to be able to find out what is suitable and custom for you. So even the mindset that you can just get into a relationship, attract who you want, manifest who you want, pray about it, God gonna send you the ideal person of your dreams. Even the mindset is already off and already going to be a big part of problems or issues in your relationship, is because you don't think that there's any room for improvement even within your own self. You don't think that you even need to improve or grow. You don't even think that you need to elevate. So even if your man does try to work with you and tell you and guide you and say, "Hey, I think you should do this," you're already going to be apprehensive because you were already apprehensive from before you even got into the relationship. I don't need to grow. I don't need to change. I don't need to do this. He's going to take me just as I am. I don't need to go get in the gym because there's a lot of men out there who like girls that look a certain way. I don't need to do this because there's a lot of men who get into situations like this. And there's a lot of men who get into situations like that. I don't need to do all of this stuff. I don't need to do that. Being apprehensive already before you even get a man. You don't even have anybody looking your way at that to begin with. Okay? So you wrote this list. You wrote this list of being in a relationship with somebody. Okay? To hopefully be able to get into a relationship with somebody, and you think that you don't need to change. I don't need to change. I don't need to grow. I don't need to evolve. Cooperative. I don't need to be cooperative. He gonna know that that's just how I am. He gonna know that his wife just pop off. He gonna know that his wife just go off. He gonna know that I just got an attitude and he's gonna have to deal with it. And he gonna know, and he gonna know, and he gonna be real invisible. That's what he is gonna be. He gonna be real invisible. So invisible that nobody can see him. Because people don't operate like that. And especially now when it comes to the state that our society is in now, where men are standing up for themselves, which I absolutely love. I always say, like, there's some people who like love, obviously I'm a woman, so obviously I'm in a relationship, but I obviously love like the nature of a man, right? And being that kind of woman who like loves a man being a man, like loving that, I love the fact that men stand up for themselves, and right now I feel like this is like one of the greatest times. I've never seen this before, that men are deciding to like take their power back, right? So especially dating in this society now, where men are like not going for the drama, not going for the problems, not going for the BS, for lack of better words. With that being said, you're gonna have a lot of men, right, who are now like, I'm not with it. Like, they're like, I'm not with it. So you have this list and you over here trying to check off the box for your own list, okay, that you have cultivated, talking about God gonna send you everybody on this list, and you come to this man and you have, non-negotiable conversations with him. Oh, well, I need a guy like this because da-da-da-da, because you're so sick to this list. And this guy's like, okay, bye. And like, okay, because I have self-respect and I'm not gonna allow you to belittle me, so I'll just go give it somebody else. You cannot skip the process. You have to grow. You absolutely have to evolve. Hello, Edward.
Hey River, how you doing? How you feeling?
Hi. I'm
What's
so
up?
happy to see you because on I know I switched up the time for you guys this week. Usually it's on Mondays, but tonight, Wednesday night, I had to do a little bit different. Oh, Kashawn too. Shout out to you guys for pulling up all ways. Okay, you guys are like my squad, so I absolutely love it. Yeah. So Edward, I brought you up first, so I know you obviously you have something to say about this conversation. So I'm very intrigued.
This is well. First of all, what's up to Kashawn too? What's up? What's going on, bro?
What's going on, brother?
This is up my alley.
Mm.
Thought vibration. We can get into the other stuff a little later, but for now, the topic is our sisters, our women, and there's this. The reason that I can relate to this so much is because I have some family members who said the same thing. We've talked, and you kind of you sugarcoat it, you say it in a nice way because they're like, I'll put it this way. I was talking to one of my family members, and she was saying what she wanted in a man, and she mentioned the word manifest, and she's one of those spiritual people without being too spiritual, and
Okay.
what I mean by that is none of the action. All of the talk got the look, but none of the action. And the action is what brings results. But she was saying that, oh, I want this, this, and this, no problem. And said, oh, he can't have kids. He can have everything else, but if he has kids, I'm gonna die alone. And she means that she's gonna die alone.
Oh my
I
God.
said, but you have a child, and you just said that.
Wait, hold up. But she have a child?
She has her own child.
Okay.
And so that's the thing, like, and everything got so serious. She's like, he can't have this and that. So it's just like, you get what you give. That's another thing with law of attraction and this and that.
Yes.
If you want to give love, you receive. To receive love, you have to give it. And I'll leave it here. A lot of people do this. They say, give me the heat and then I'll make the fire. And it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. And it's so true. First of all, she need a slap. Okay? I don't have any other way to say it. Because how you got a kid and you don't want somebody that got a kid, like, that doesn't make any sense. Because that means that the same way that you're going to be rejecting these people is the same way that other people are going to be rejecting you. Again, we're talking about the laws of attraction and the balance of energies. You're literally putting out that you don't want to be with somebody that has a kid. So you're only going to attract somebody that doesn't want to be with somebody that has a kid. Like, that's literally how it works. Like, literally. So like attracting like, first of all, the fact that you're trying to attract somebody, the number one thing when it comes to relationships, and it doesn't matter what you believe, the number one thing with relationships is humility. Like, humility is what is required. It's literally a requirement of being in a relationship, and in a functioning relationship, in a happy relationship, in a relationship that's going to last a long time. A requirement is being able to be humble. Sometimes the universe is just so clever that you say you don't want to be with a man that has a child, and that's exactly who is for you. Is a man that has a child. And you know why? Because it's teaching you a level of selflessness that you would have never experienced any other way. Like, sometimes you learn things from your childhood. Sometimes you learn things through being a teenager in high school. Sometimes you learn things as an adult. And then there's like this special things that you learn from the family that you create. When you're already taking off this list and creating this list, and we know how these women be, okay? They basically describe Shaquille O'Neal on the list, right?
Right.
And so they will see a man who's quite capable, but you said he was supposed to be 6'5" and he only 6'2", so you're going to wait on God. Are you dumb? Like, you're going to be waiting. That's all you're going to be doing is waiting and praying forever. You have to detect.
One of the biggest problems with that, I think, is the time. Like, a lot of our sisters, they're wasting their time, like you said, and they think they have the same value or that they can get the same guy as quickly with the time passing.
Right, which is why I get so upset with this whole boss chick thing. Like, oh, be a boss and be a this and be okay. Yeah, waste your years. Do that. That makes sense, because the older that you get, the more stuck in your ways that you get, the more nobody can tell you nothing that 20, he damn sure can't tell you what to do at 30. So just keep on wasting it because you're gonna get more stuck in your ways, more miserable, more stuck to being by yourself, more you don't want nobody up in your house and you already cleaned this, you don't want nobody to have to clean up after. It doesn't make sense. Kashawn, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Nice to see you here on this Wednesday.
Looking forward to it. You know, I want to say this. We live in a world in a society of false, or not false, but unrealistic expectations. That's the first thing. So we're building up these ideas, these thoughts and things off of unrealistic expectations. And then if you want to add the manifestation fact, I come from a spiritual background as well, and that was talked about a lot. But they also talked about faith without works is dead. It does nothing. They don't want to talk about that.
Say that. Say that.
Faith without works, dead. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
And that ties into the humble factor as well. If you're not humble in yourself doing the work that needs to be done in order to get to what you want, it's not going to happen.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Right. Like, oh, I want a man that's so fit and you overweight. It's like, but your math is not mathing. Like,
no, not at all.
it's not giving what we're supposed to get. Like, okay, so you want a man that is financially stable. You pay your bill every time. You never pay a bill on time. Like, you have to align yourself. Like, you have to align yourself. And that's the thing that I think a lot of people are missing is the man. Like, I hear it so much. I've heard it so much lately after that conversation that happened with Kevin and Nikki. Mm-hmm. And then after Nikki had the conversation with Lala, and I heard like so many women talking about like, oh yeah, like, you know, I'm just gonna level up and boss up, and then like whenever I'm ready, I'll just like have the pick of the litter, or I'll just like manifest whoever it is that I want. And it's like, it does not work that way. It literally does not work that way.
And then you're listening to Nikki and Lala say this when their lives and their situations aren't as good as they claimed it out to be. I mean, Lala had what she wanted. Now she's a divorced mother, single mother now.
But we have to talk about the fact that Lala had what she wanted. So that means that Lala was in a position when, you know, in yesteryear, because I think that was like about almost what, 15 years ago, maybe?
Absolutely.
Okay. She was the person. She was the symbol of what that man wanted. Mm-hmm. She fit that criteria. Okay, after being with this person for a long time, going through trials that relationships go through, now she's the type of person that's like, oh no, girl, y'all don't need to focus on that because of her experience.
Yeah.
But she was the blueprint at first. Sure. A lot of people wasn't even never the blueprint. And they want to listen to her who's already experienced that. Mm-hmm. You can't even get on the page with your man who work around the corner. How are you going to get on the page with somebody who you can't see for months at a time?
There you go.
He'll be in the house with you all the time and you still argue. You literally can see what he's doing.
And that's the problem right there.
It's crazy.
He's right in front of you and you're mad about little to nothing because he's not doing it the way you want him to do it. Whether he's doing it, you know, that makes no sense to me.
It's so true. And we have to talk about it like, y'all be mad. You mad because he liked somebody's picture on Instagram that looked good. Are you mad that he liked the picture on Instagram of the person that looked good, or are you mad that you don't look like that? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Because if you look like that, you would not care. And I can speak that strongly. Like, if you look like that, you don't care. You'll be like, oh, yeah, she looks great. Oh, where she got that bathing suit from? I'm going to order me one because I'm going to look very similar. You know what I'm saying? But when you feel incompetent, you give your man more problems. And again, that's a part of doing the work. You're going to manifest a person. You're going to manifest Kashawn. I'm going to manifest Kashawn. You know what I'm saying? And be in a relationship with him. But you were mad about these things. So you have a little bit of insecurity within yourself. You have to work on these things. You have to be a whole person. It's not, people think it's like, oh, we're two halves and we come together and we make a whole and now we're one. No, we're two whole people who decide to still be two whole people and create a unit with each other.
Exactly.
I love this comment that Jenny wrote. First of all, I love Jenny. Jenny is so sweet and she always shows up. She said, I had to humble myself when I met my husband. Everything I said I didn't want. Very fickle things. I got it all in one package. I had to swallow my pride and appreciate what I was sent from God. And that's so valid because that's what I was saying earlier too. Like, that's how the universe works. Like, you will be like, I don't want a man who is a construction worker. And you will get the whole man that's on the list, and you're like, yes, I got my dream man. And you be like, oh my gosh, what's your job? And he's like, I'm a construction worker.
Right, right.
It teaches you things. It's all about evolution and growth. And that's, I always say, like, the biggest growth you can ever have within your life is a relationship. Because that is somebody showing you the inner depths of who you are. And you get to see what you're made of. You get to see, are you selfish? Are you kind? Are you really kind? Do you really put others' needs before yourself? Do you really think of others before yourself? Because with a baby, they depend on you. So you have to do certain things. But with a grown person, it's easy to start competing, to start arguing with, to start being combative with. Are you really what you say you are? Are you really feminine? Are you really clean? Are you really clean? Because now you got to clean up after somebody else. So are you still okay with that? It's so true. Hi, Hustler. How are you? Hustler and Muscular.
I'm doing good. Just listening in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was listening to what y'all saying, and I read the comment, and I read the title. It said a man should take a woman as she is.
Mm-hmm.
I've been hearing that bullshit from women for years. Take me as I am. You knew what kind of chick I was. Okay, do half of y'all females take us men as we are? The answer to that is half the time, no, they don't.
Sure
like
don't.
you said, this man may work as a construction worker, which is not a half bad job, because I know guys who work in construction. It's a hard job. Manual labor, it's a hard job. You outside in the winter, in the rain, it's a hard job. I know guys who do that shit for a living.
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell you it's a hard job. But they don't want to accept that. They want the six-figure man. They want the man that's got it all just like that. If you can't take me as I am, why the holy hell should I take you as you are?
You're right. No, you're right. And this is why we have these conversations, because we're speaking about reality, not delusion. We're talking about reality, you know? And that's so true. And that's why I even brought up that point, because there's so many women who say that, like, oh, no, you know, he got to be 6'5", and he got to be this, and he got to make this amount of money, and he got to make this. And he's like, you need to lose weight. Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, he better not. He better not try to tell me to change myself, or don't talk to me like that. Like, you have a very disrespectful tone. Like, you need to learn how to talk to me. Oh, this is just how I am.
Exactly right. I will take you as you are, but you can't take me. I gotta take you as you are, but you can't accept the fact that I'm 5'7", 170 pounds. I gotta be 6 feet and all this kind of BS. No, I call bullshit on that. I've been hearing that for the longest, and it's gotten to the point where I just don't care anymore. You either take me as I am, 5'6", 5'7", or get the hell out of my face.
But I think that that's necessary. I mean, when it comes to something like your height, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Get surgery to become taller? Like, that don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? But women take things like, they try to make certain things like that a criteria for a man, which I call BS on that as well. I'm not gonna lie, because when they was sneaky linking, hooking up with Pookie and Ray Ray at the tea house, okay, because he put it down, they did not care how tall he was.
Sure didn't.
So wow. 100 all the way around. They didn't care. They didn't care how tall he was. They didn't care what his credit score was. Okay, they didn't care how many kids he had. They just cared what he was doing. So I call BS on that. I do understand. I always say this. I do understand women who are tall, like taller women, because it's just like a mindset thing of like wanting somebody who might be a little bit taller than you, you know, just like that dynamic. But like I'm 5'2", okay? What the hell I look like talking about I want somebody that's 6'5"? For what? Anybody's taller than me. Like, anyone is literally taller than me. And there's women who are my height, my size, who say that, you know, like, oh, I need a man to be this. So I'm like, so what do you really? Oh, I think we lost Kirk, but I think he'll come back. Like, what are you really fighting to prove?
Right.
Like,
exactly. I mean, the only time. Oh, go ahead.
They throw that out there like as if they got that tall person, he's not gonna do the same stuff the short person do. You can have the same problem from that 6'8" man that you could have from that 5'2" man. Same
exactly
problem.
Right. That's my point. Height don't mean a damn thing. It's all about the heart of the person.
At all.
And people are like, oh, that's just my preference. Okay, girl, you keep waiting on that preference. You keep waiting on that list. You keep praying and wishing.
I mean, I look at it like this. The only time I can understand a female saying she want a man that's over 6 feet tall is if she's tall herself.
That's
If
right.
if you're a female and you're like 5'7", 5'8", okay, maybe you do want a tall man. Because like I said, I'm 5'7". So if you're 5'10", 5'9", that's gonna make me look a little awkward. That's gonna make me feel kind of awkward, you know. I know it's some chicks at my job that are like tall, like almost as tall as half the men. They're like 5'10", 5'11", damn near 6 feet. I'm gonna look awkward as hell standing next to them. So I can understand you're a tall woman, you want a tall man. That makes more sense. But if your ass is so short, you need a fucking step ladder just to reach the chandelier at the top of your house, you are in no position to talk about how tall somebody needs to be.
I need him to be tall.
You 5 foot 2 inches.
Tall. Everybody, trust me, I'm 5'2". I know everybody's tall. Everybody look tall.
Yeah, that's my point.
Be like, oh, how tall are you? They be like 5'5".
I gotta pick your ass up just so you can reach my damn refrigerator. You can't. That makes sense. I'm taller than you, so what's the problem?
And even taking it a step further too, even when you see people who are like married to celebrities, I'm gonna use Kevin Hart just for an example. He's what?
I know he's short.
5'7", 5'6".
Less than that, I think.
You think so? I don't know. I think he might be like 5'6". I think that we just maybe think he's shorter, but I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong.
He's no more than 5'3", 5'4". He's not that tall.
Okay, and look at his beautiful wife. Do you think either one of them care about that height? Hell no.
I don't know, but he's famous.
Tall wife. Look at this tall glass of Jamaican and Chinese milk. Okay. You know, and he's like, I don't feel any less. I don't feel no kind of nothing, you know. But and then we have women who don't even look like how she looks. Okay, don't even look like that. Talking about what they need, and they need a man that's this, and they need a man that's a certain height. Like that is just like.
Wasn't his ex-wife taller than him?
What'd you say?
I said, wasn't his ex-wife taller than him?
No, I think she was shorter than him actually. So even think about that. She was shorter than him, and what did the height? The height didn't do anything because his first wife was shorter than him. Still didn't work out. His next wife is taller than him. The height means nothing. As women, I feel like the main things, especially in a time like we're in, where everything is, I mean, work is hard. You go to the grocery store, you can't even buy everything because there's barely stuff in there. Like life is already tough enough. Like what should be valued from women, and I talk about it all the time. And I want y'all to know I talk about this stuff in real life too. That's why some of my friends don't call me. Okay, I don't even know if I can call them my friends anymore because I be telling them about themselves. But the values are you a good man? What is a good man? Are you kind to others other than yourself? Are you selfless? Do I know that if something happened that you'll be able to take care of me and give me that? You know what I'm saying? Are you a man of your word? If you say this, is it this? Okay. Are you and I'm gonna be honest, I would say loyal, but I think loyalty is very relative because a man can be loyal to his family and for a night a situation can occur and I don't necessarily think that's not loyalty. So I mean, I'm a different type of person though. I have a different mindset, but I'm just saying like, as in, is this somebody that you can trust, that you can put your trust into that has your best interest at heart? That is like the number one thing. And it's not something that nobody talks about. Like I never hear women be like, I just want a man that, you know, when I go to sleep, I can trust that I'm gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he got me. You never hear that. Oh, if he don't buy me a Birkin bag, if he ain't fine, if he ain't tall, if he ain't this, and none of those things that you're talking about can raise good children.
Well, that's because their priorities are based off what they've seen on TV and music videos and what they're watching on the internet. It's not based in reality. It's not based in what priorities should be based on.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's crazy. Hello. Yeah. Listen, I don't want to call you. I think you're on mute. Are you there?
Am I muted?
Oh, I can hear you. I don't want to call you Dr. Panderson, and I don't want to call you Scam Likely. I need to call you something different.
Oh man, Anton said what?
Because I see you all the time, and I call you Scam Likely or Dr. Panderson.
Better than Simp Panderson now.
We need to give you a different name. We can call you Doctor. We're gonna call you Doctor. Okay,
Dr. Pan.
Dr. Pan.
Do I have to go back?
Dr. Pan.
Dr. Pan.
Patient Dr. Pan. Patient Dr. Pan.
Yeah, only one thing now. A woman can have her list and say he got to be 6'9" and 300 pounds. She can do that as long as she can attract it.
How's she gonna attract it?
If she has those options, she can name her price and have that list and everything. Fortunately, these women over there, they weigh 300 pounds themselves, so a little bit different. But if she can attract it, if she is fit, feminine, friendly, and nice attitude, 25, she ran track at University of Tennessee or UNC, and serving the community, pledged, and if she got it going on like that, she can say, "Look, 5'2". Now I want a man 6'4". I want him to make $113,000 a year." She can say that.
I get it.
She can, but
if she
women
can attract
saying that are not built like that at all.
So, to be honest, so basically, it's like the more attractive she is, the more her standards are going to be. Is that what you're saying?
You can do that. This is a marketplace.
The more options she has.
Just like you, in us five, if we were competing trying to get to Rivah, and what's it, Kashan? If you ain't got no job, and Edward does, it is what it is. He's 6'2" with a job. You just knocked off a liquor store last week, running from the law. You see that man with a job. It is what it is. Her list says, "I want him to have a job, and I want him to make the money," and you're making it. You go out with her on Tuesday. She can do that.
That's an interesting point that you just made, though, because that's really true. I mean, when women will have, better options if they look a certain way. But another very, very interesting point of that conversation is, it don't mean that he's gonna keep you. It still doesn't mean that he's gonna wife you if your character is not right. It still does not mean that you are going to get to the ring. You can be a girlfriend, you could be a jump off, you could be all types of stuff, but it does not mean that that man is going to actually commit to you, okay, marry you, even if you have a certain look or image. So imagine the people who don't. So if the women who are pretty and can choose from their preference to even get in the door to be in a relationship with a man, imagine the women who don't look like that woman at all and can't get into the door, and they have that same preference or higher. It's like, are you nuts? I watched on Netflix. It was this show of Cristiano Ronaldo, his wife. You guys know him. Best
football player, soccer player.
I don't know much about soccer, but I just know he's like the best. Okay, I see his name so much. And when I saw that he was with this woman, and she's beautiful, pretty woman. He has like mad kids by her and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, I feel like he was with somebody different. And when I saw the way that the woman looked before, gorgeous, like perfect, like model, chiseled, like nothing out of place. And his partner that he's with now is beautiful, but does not look like that at all. But he's committed to this one because of who she is. So again, that's why I'm saying, based off of what Dr. Pan is saying, is that even though there's women who are beautiful and who are capable of, like I said, getting into the room or getting into the atmosphere of certain men to even feel like they have their choice, they feel like they have their pick of the litter, they still don't, because ultimately that man is the one that's going to say, I will make you a wife. I will make you the mother of my kids. I will choose to do this.
Exactly.
Let me tell you why, though. Let me tell you why he picks that one. Because there's a difference between like, love, trust, and respect. So he might hold
that thought, because that was good. Hello, Crimson Cure, my beautiful sis. How are you? Good evening. I have not seen you in a long time. Love to see you. I'm dropping the link if you do want to come up. No pressure, sis, because I know sometimes we can pressure each other. We be like, where you at? No pressure. But if you would like to come on, I would love to have you up here and join this discussion. So just wanted to say hi and love you. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead, Edward.
Yes. And if I may, shout out to Crimson Cure, because her videos.
Shout out to her.
Power. What I was saying was, there's a difference between like, love, trust, and respect.
Mm-hmm.
So he might like you, he might love you, but he might not trust you or respect you. And usually, men and women, usually they kind of want to go with the person who trusts and respects them. Um, Typically, after going through things. So if I see someone who I like or who I'm attracted to, who we seem to get along with, I might like them. They might look good. I might love them. But when you respect somebody, there's certain things that you don't do. Just in my humble opinion, I've never been married before,
Mm-hmm.
but there's certain things that I have, like I would, if we're having a disagreement, there's certain points I won't go to because I respect you as a person, and there's certain things I'll share with you because I trust you. But if I just like you, there's probably certain things I'm not going to share with you. There's a connection that's not going to be there, while someone might come through with that trust and respect. And if I had to choose, sometimes you go with the person who does treat you right, or you should. But normally it takes a lot of experiences. I've came across some beautiful women who said that, you know and I got them afterwards, and it was a good fit, because she was just like, I just don't want somebody dogging me out, anymore. That's all I care about. I'm like, that's right up my alley, so it was easier for us to get along, where if it came before, she might not have looked for those same characteristics. So
that's a great point.
Like her, love her, but also look for trust and respect too.
Yes, that's so point, because listen, that's why some women will be beautiful, right, on the outside. Because I think, to me, if your heart is not clean, and we're gonna have to have a whole conversation about what heart clean is, because people have been asking me on my Instagram, like, what do you always say that, like, clean heart? It's a Jamaican saying, like, wash off your heart, you have to have a clean heart and stuff like that. But it's just like the purity of the soul, like somebody who's genuinely genuine, like a genuine person, mean what they say, about what they say, like not trying to, not coming over to Edward's house and being like, oh, hey, Edward, looking at everything, trying to figure out how much you spend. Like, they're just there to be with you and be in the moment, like genuine people. You have some girls who are very beautiful and don't have that. And that man will leave them and go be with somebody else who they feel like is not that beautiful, and be like, what he want with her? Everything that you don't got. All the good qualities that you didn't embody. You focus on the outside, and that's great, but what about the inside? Crimson Cure. Hello. How are you? How are you? How are you? Uh-oh, I think you muted.
Yep.
I was talking on you. Okay. So hello to all the gentlemen on the panel and Miss Rivah, my sis.
Love you.
Love you. I had just a few minutes. I'm actually going to go eat in a minute, but I just want to comment on the title.
Yes.
Because I haven't been listening the whole time, but just on the title, I'm going to manifest a husband, and he going to take me as I am. Baby girl, listen to all the ladies who think this. It is not going to happen. You're going to manifest somebody. But y'all can't be running around here trying to wife these men up.
Ooh.
Okay? Y'all is trying to wife these men, and it's not going to happen. You're trying to wife these men.
I like that.
You can't run around trying to wife these.
Y'all trying to do it. And the thing that I say on my channel so much is that men gatekeep relationships. And at this point, if it's not apparent, then I don't know what makes that apparent. Sex and relationships are not the same thing. I know you get in your feelings when when you throwing backs out and all that kind of stuff. I know you get in your feelings because we women, and that's what we do. But this is why you don't put yourself in a position like that with every man that you come across that you might like, because you're gonna like one that throw your back out, but he gonna be toxic, and you gonna be toxic right with him, and you ain't gonna be able to leave because that chiropractic session is just too much.
Too much.
So you cannot put yourself in these positions, and this is really to the young ladies too. And I'm glad that you having this conversation, Rivah, because you're a young woman. And hopefully other young women will take this from you, even if they don't take it from me. And these men, notwithstanding the law and stuff like that, these men actually want to be in committed relationships.
Yes.
They want to do this. If women, let me address the take me as I am.
Yes.
Preach.
The first thing you got to figure out is, who are you?
Oh, okay, because take me as I am, you don't know who you are. Okay.
Okay. He taking you as you are, but what's you? Now, I know you think you in the mirror looking and you wonderful, and that's okay if you think you wonderful, but is that the consensus with the people that you deal with, the people closest to you, even outside of romantic relationships? Is that how other people experience you? Do they experience you as a wonderful person, a warm person, a good person? Do they experience you like that? Are your children experiencing you like that, if you have any? Are your co-workers, your other family members, past relationships? What is the climate, or what has the consensus been? Because we all get that feedback in one way or another. If you the type of person don't nobody fool with you, baby, it ain't just because you real. That's the lie we like to tell each other and ourselves. I'm just too real, and then they can't handle it. No. You're probably just too abrasive. You're too mean. You're too masculine, and you don't receive information very well.
Right.
This is the thing that we have to understand as women, and I'm talking to the young women. I've seen women go through their life and make these mistakes over and over and over again, and they never have any introspection. Auntie Crimson is trying to save the young women from the same mistake that your mama made. Okay, she made a mistake and she's not saving you from it. She's telling you to go towards it. That's a sabotage. Okay, I know you love your mama, but she sabotaging you now. Now, especially if she ain't but about 20 years older than you or 18 years older than you.
Okay.
Damn.
So listen, I'm not your competition, okay? Auntie Crimson not trying to compete with you. I'm trying to help.
Crimson, hold on. Because you're not gonna be saying all this stuff and just fly past it. Like that's not what you just said, okay? Because I'm not your competition.
Yeah.
Because we have that so much. And as you talk, I honestly start getting emotional because I'm just very emotional as a person anyway. But also because it's in my heart for the girls, right? And the younger girls, the young women, and there's women who just don't understand that. Like your mom literally is raising you and is pulling you in the direction of her exact experience so that you can replicate it, because if you grow higher than her, then she's going to feel inferior to you, and she doesn't want that. So she had a baby with Ray Ray and them. So you need to have a baby with Ray Ray and them so then she can have something to school you on. But if you have a husband and she's still fooling with Ray Ray and them, then what can you teach me? The roles are off. I got to keep you beneath me. So let me just keep you stifled, and hopefully you don't know no better. So sad and true.
And it is sad. Half the mamas is doing it maliciously. The other half just don't know no better.
Exactly.
And so that's what she doing. She don't even know she ruining you. She thinks she's preparing you for the harshness of the world. And she is giving you an armor, but it's an armor you don't need. It's an armor that keeps you away from actually receiving from the men what you want as a woman inside.
Right.
And it teaches us how to not be vulnerable, how to not be soft, because we've been taught, especially as Black women, that is a weakness. That's only a weakness for men around other men. You ain't gonna get no men in a group and they being vulnerable with each other. Like, you know, they ain't doing that. But that is a part of femininity. They're coming to us to get the one thing they can't generate, which is that feminine energy. They can't do it for themselves. So they're coming to the counterpart to get that soft, to get that vulnerability. They don't care if you be crying. You know what I'm saying? Some men will talk a little mess. Girl, why you crying? He love that, especially if you come lay on his chest and you ain't talking crazy. all he gonna do is be like, you high.
Can I tell you that that's so true? That's so valid. That's so valid because that's the thing. Like, a lot of women are afraid of that. A lot of women are afraid of their own tears, right? They feel like it's gonna make them weak. This is not your mom who gonna beat you until you stop crying.
Right.
I'm the one who gave you something to cry for, but I'm gonna tell you, stop crying before I give you something else.
Right.
Cry for.
Foolishness, right?
Right, and stop the crying and shut up. You just slapped me. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm crying. Like,
right. What do you want me to do?
This is not that. This is a space where he's looking at you as like, wow. And when you're crying to him over truth, because that's another aspect. And when you're crying to him over vulnerability, he can trust your tears. Because some women, they get all angry, mad, disrespectful, and then they turn on the tears. But I was just going through something.
Like, girl, knock it off.
Girl.
You want somebody trying to manipulate the situation. Ain't nobody trying to hear that stupid stuff. Now you want to cry after you done disrespect me for the last 30 minutes. I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? So we have to, as women, this is the embrace of our femininity. Men do not see our femininity as a weakness.
No.
They see it as a power, the power of the women. Because I'm telling you, the vulnerability and the genuineness of it, and giving him that softness and giving him that, baby, I'm just, what I'm saying? They go into provision, problem solving, protection, and procreation. They go right into it. It's natural for them to do that. Now they want to get you and hold you and protect you from whatever they want to do it.
Yeah.
This is how men show love. If you come to them with a problem, they want to solve it because they don't want to see you going through problems. If you know what I'm saying, this is what it is. And so I just kind of wanted to say that, babies, him accepting you for who you are. You don't even know who you are. Half of y'all ain't went through no spiritual journeys or nothing. You ain't read no book. You ain't listened to nobody. You ain't prayed. You ain't meditated. You ain't did nothing. You ain't just looked over your life and just tried to understand. You have to do that stuff, especially when you're young. This is the time to do that, not when you're old and then you decide you want to go to church and be an old church lady after you done went through all your 304 phases.
Because that person trying to make it into heaven, so they had to change.
Trying to repent all them demons you done sucked. And nobody can repent.
What they call a born again virgin or whatever they call that.
Yeah, whatever they calling it. So y'all can't do that. Young as you go into your spiritual journey so that you can find out who you are. Going through a bunch of men in your 304 phase does not teach you who you are. That's a lie that your mama say.
Yes. That will teach you more drama, more problems.
Mm-hmm. I am gonna be quiet because I didn't get on here and ran my mouth.
No, this is what
I really do need to go.
This is what we love and appreciate of the Crimson Cure, because she just come on, she just say everything that needed to be said. Okay, now y'all gonna carry on now, because I done said everything. I love it. One thing I love so much is that there's people in this space that talk about these things, about relationships, about especially when it comes to young women and how we behave out of pocket and how we should behave. And one thing I love about the Crimson Cure, and I'm very big on saying it in front of the person, right? I'm very big on making it real known, is her heart for them. Because you have this knowledge, Crimson. You don't got to tell nobody nothing. You could just go sit down somewhere and talk about something completely different. But the fact that you're choosing to continually feed people who have ears, they're going to be able to hear. You know what I'm saying? And I know for a fact that it's doing so much for our young ladies. I see, like, you know what? I shouldn't be doing this. Or you know what? That is foolishness. Oh, you know what? My mama only did tell me this one side of the story. I never even thought that there was another side to the story. I didn't even know women serve no man. I didn't even know that, men have the right to choose what they want to do in life. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that. And I love when you come on and you pop in. I don't want you to go nowhere if you don't want to. But I know you said you had to eat.
No, I got to go eat, girl. Okay. I've been running around all day. I'm tired. I got to take this off. Y'all know how it is. Taking this off, getting ready for bed or something for me.
Oh, okay. I love it, by the way. Yes, so thank you guys
you
so
so
much. And
much.
I saw Kendra, he dropped your channel. Please, you guys gotta support Crimson Cure, okay? If you, I'm sure you guys already know who she is, but if you don't, you gotta go over there and head over to Crimson Cure and subscribe to that channel because she's always the same way you see her here. She's always dropping these gems. So thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you calling in.
No problem, sweetheart. I love you.
Love
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Bye.
Shout out to Crimson Cure.
I love her so much. She's honestly so sweet, for real. I really like her. You know, there's some people that you just talk and you can feel like who they are. She's one of those people. Sorry guys, I'm very emotional all the time. But but one thing that she said that was so key is that for real, these women be like, take me as I am. Who are you? Who are
Don't even
you?
know your damn
You're a
self.
demon. You're a demon.
Right.
You always
You're a
cause
demon.
chaos in hell. Chaos in the hell. Nobody can't stand you. Don't get along with your mama, your daddy, your sister, your cousin, your brother, your friends. And you always talking about, well, if they would have, because it's them. Because if they didn't, and you talking about take me as I am, the only person that needs to take you as you are, no shade, is the therapist.
It's the what?
Therapist.
Absolutely.
Oh, therapist.
That person needs to elevate your mindset and work on it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why this whole take me as I am thing, this whole take me as I am mindset, I don't know why it's so big in our community. When it comes to women saying that to men, I don't understand it. Because at the end of the day, why should our counterparts, I'm saying men or women, but for the sake of this conversation, we're talking about the women. Why should somebody take on all of your stress, problems, drama, childhood trauma, anxiety, issues of the past, bag lady, baggage, all of that? Everybody else has their own stuff that they have to work through and deal with. Why are we saying to men that you have to have your stuff all figured out and you have to figure out mine? And if I have children, you have to figure out theirs. And you can't tell me nothing. And you can't tell me I have to change. Why? Thank you so much, Crimson Cure. I love her so much. See what I'm saying? She's so sweet. Thank you so much, Crimson. Love you so much. Like, why? Why is it this whole thing that men can't stand up for themselves? And that's the thing. That's what I love about this new revolution that's going on, because men are like, no, we gonna see what, if we're not gonna just, you know, oh, the happy wife, happy life, the woman is right, this and this that. Now the men are like, no. What you got? Hold on. What you said? You have how many kids? No, thank you. Wait, what you said? How much you weigh? Okay, no, not doing it. Other alternatives, which kind of sucks. And when I say kind of sucks, I don't mean that they're standing up for themselves, but I mean for both, because you have some men who go so far into like I guess it's a red pill. They don't want to be with nobody. Okay, they're not giving nobody a chance. They are just against everybody. And then you have some women who are so far into this boss chick, I could do better by myself, take me as I am. So we're not meeting in the middle. Which, how are we gonna be together if we can't meet right here?
Right.
Again, which is why we have these conversations.
You know why that is, though? Because it's coming from broken people that have not healed.
Right.
They're speaking out of their hurt, anger, and pain because they haven't done the work to heal. And so they're pushing this narrative out of their experience from maybe one or two relationships because they have not come out of that pain.
Right. That's so true. The 1-2 relationships that you've been in, you only been in 2 relationships talking about all men ain't this and all men ain't that. Girl, what man? You only know 2 people.
Yeah, the one she chose wasn't shit. That's the problem. It's the ones that she be picking.
You've been in one long relationship talking about all these men. What all men? My dad, my stepdad.
So those 2 men you dated, messed around with, give you valid reason to put all that on all of us men. That makes no sense.
And the 2 men that you're talking about went to high school with you.
And they were doing the same thing before you.
Right. And you saw them doing foolishness. And that, I know, I'll change him.
How'd that work out?
Oh, man. I hate the generalization so much.
I've heard women say this all the time. Like when you hook up with a woman and you know she ain't right, she'll say some stupid stuff like, well, you knew who I was when you first met me. You knew how I was when you first met me. You should have known this was gonna happen. Sweetheart, you knew who the hell I was when you first met me. You knew that I was a playboy. You knew I was fucking every chick in the neighborhood. You knew who I was when you first met me. So who are you to complain? Okay, why does it have to sound so one-sided? Exactly. You know what kind of men you dealing with when you meet these guys. So who are you to complain about their messed up situation? Right. And you're no better than they are. Right. This just gets on my nerves. You knew he was a Pookie and a Ray when you first met him. Now you want to complain about him? You knew he had 5 kids. You knew he had drama. You knew he was robbing a liquor store down the street just yesterday before he came to kick it with you. You knew all that, but you still want him to take you as you are. You can't take all his stress and drama. That's not only that, but you had your mama, you had your sister, you had your cousin, you had your girlfriends warning you about Pookie, but you still wanted it. I got a friend in high school that did that. I had a friend in high school who made that same mistake. I mean, she learned. It was like 20 years ago. She learned eventually, but God bless her, she learned quickly before she got with this guy. But I know some that didn't, and that he fucked up.
Can we talk about Pookie for a second?
Sure thing.
We gotta talk about Pookie for a second, because Pookie said, this is what I heard Pookie said. I heard that Pookie said that he never told you he wanted to be in a committed relationship. Pookie had told you on the first date about his 5 baby mamas, and you heard him say he had 5 baby mamas, and you still was sleeping with Pookie, and you was okay with it. But then when Jonathan come over here trying to make you an honest woman, okay, and trying to make you his wife, you trying to go through his phone while he's sleeping at night. But when Pookie told you he had all these women on speed dial, you was okay with it. But now you stressing out Jonathan that come home from work every day to you.
Damn.
That ain't thought about another woman.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make sense.
She got trust issues.
You rather go through Jonathan's phone, but you gonna leave Pookie's phone over there because you know Pookie don't play by his phone. Okay, so you know that going through Pookie's phone not even an option, because that might lead to some more problems. Okay, so you gonna leave Pookie's phone alone, but you gonna take all of that stress, anger, anxiety, all the problems that Pookie done put you through, and put it on Jonathan, who work at the bank, who's a nice man. So you did nothing but like somebody's picture on Instagram and you saw it. And it was real.
That's also a form of self-sabotage. Like, it gotta be something. I gotta mess this up. Mm-hmm. You know, it's never been good for me. So this is a way to make it not good. You know, that's one thing I think, a factor of that. But yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it all. I'm sure all the 2 brothers on here I've seen as well. Like, to me, it comes back to attitude. I was meaning to say this like a little while ago. Like, if a positive attitude will look at just a little reason to think positively, but a negative attitude will find any little reason to think negatively. And for the ladies and the men, there's always going to be, you know, as married as you are, there's always going to be someone who looks better, who has this, who has that. As a woman, there's always going to be a dude who's, you know, we just keep going. I think Kashawn says 6'8", and my brother here says 6'9", so I'm gonna go to 6'10". But somebody who's 6'10", who's taller. But again, it goes back to Kashawn saying the brokenness. If you're dating for competition, then you will be worried that you'll look bad if you have this good dude and you still. It's like, man, even the good dudes are doing that. So it's like, what can I do? I guess
that's so true. But I think that a lot of people get into relationships and they're living in a whole relationship that's not really happening. You know, like this man told you, like, I'm not settling down. I don't see myself getting married. You know, I don't see myself settling with one woman. And that's just not what I'm about. And he comes over, or maybe you guys hang out like more than a couple of times. It's been like 1, 2, 3, 4 months, and you feel like you're in a committed relationship with him, and he's hanging out with you, but he told you what it was. And now you are constantly, right, trying to talk about, oh, you cheated on me. And he's like, what are you talking about? So now you're even walking around with the whole mentality of somebody cheating on you when you're not even in a relationship with anybody. He's only coming because it's available. And that's why I like what Crimson said also when she said confusing intimacy for love or relationships. He's sleeping with you because he's allowed to. Because he can. Okay.
Yeah. Remember, as men, we take what we can get.
You calling him up.
We're gonna go for it.
Right. So and I mean, it's consensual, so hey, whatever. Do what you do what you want. But then you're trying to put all this pressure and demands on this person. But then when you finally actually get into a relationship where somebody's actually making it known that you that girl and all this kind of stuff, now you're giving that person all the pressure when the other person never even valued you and you gave them no pressure. So are you telling men that they shouldn't value you? Is that what you're trying to portray? Hey, don't value me and then I won't stress you out. Is that what you're pushing? Because that's what I think a lot of men hear. That's what I feel like a lot of men hear. I see it in my comment section all the time. I see it in my DMs where men are like, these girls, what do they want? We're good to them with this or that. And then they go and get with Pookie. Like, we have men who are so mad at Pookie and so mad at Ray Ray because they're coming up to the plate, but it's like such a sick and twisted mindset, like where the women are like, nah, we actually don't want that. We want you to actually not treat us so good so that then we can chase you. But if you're a little bit too kind or a little bit too nice or a little bit too appreciative of me, I have to cause havoc in this house to change it so that you can be mad. So then I can be in my normal comfort zone of always having to prove myself to you. It's insane. I saw this comment. I want to read this. Eugene said, this past Sunday, Carrie Pope, I don't know who that is. I'm guessing it's a pastor. But it says Carrie Pope gave a wonderful message about letting go of the past, in which those women are not doing. Letting go is a part of changing. This is 100,000,000,000,000,000% true. Okay, but the thing is, you would have a lot less things to let go of in the past if you didn't get into situationships, sneaky links, and become so toxic. I like this comment: toxic and accessible to everybody. Okay, not everybody, everybody. Okay, you're so accessible to everybody that you're dealing with baggage from every single person. Every person. Hello, Sandra. I see you in the chat. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Hey, I dropped a link for you if you do want to pop up. And she said, if you love someone, you want to be your best self, not this. Take me at my worst. Exactly. Take me at my worst. Take me at my worst.
That sounds like something Marilyn Monroe used to say.
Who said that?
That sounds like something Marilyn Monroe used to say back in the old days. If you can't have me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best.
Oh, yes. I think that is something that she said. I think that
now, when I was younger, I had no idea what the hell that meant. I kind of misconstrued. I'm thinking like, hey, maybe it means I don't look my best today, but tomorrow, I mean tomorrow when I am at my best, take me like that. I misconstrued the message when I first heard it when I was like 25 years younger. When I first heard that, I misconstrued it. But looking back, it's like, okay, now I understand. Mm-hmm. Take me at my worst. Bad attitude, snarky remarks, disrespect. Take me like, but if you can't accept that, you can't have me at my best when I'm kind, feminine, and respectable. I'm like, is that what they were promoting back in the day?
That's a great point. That's a great.
Is that what they were promoting back in the day?
No, I think it was image. But now, Eugene, I think we lost you, Eugene.
Damn, gone. I want to hear what he had to say about this.
Maybe he'll come back. But that's the problem. The problem is it was about image back then. It genuinely was about image, but it changed. And I feel like women are taking it more of now. Oh, well, if you can't handle my bad attitude, if you can't handle the fact that I don't cook, if you can't handle the fact that I don't clean, if you can't handle the fact that I'm disrespectful, if you can't handle the fact that I'm nasty and rude when I feel like it, if you can't handle the fact that, I want you to be a mind reader and you're not, then, oh, well.
So that's what that message meant. I had it all misconstrued when I was younger.
Hello,
I'm thinking like, hey, man.
Are you there, Miss Eugene?
Oh, yes. Hello. Oh, do I sound like a chipmunk, by the way?
No.
Okay, thank God. That's why I go in and out, because every time I go in, I would sound like that.
Oh, I can hear you.
Yeah. But one thing I want to ask you, I don't know if you've noticed it or not, or if it's just me. It's always, the man is always constantly working on himself, constantly. Have you noticed that?
Yep.
Yeah. And there are many reasons for that. And, and sometimes it's so ironic. The reasons is not even pertaining to the woman either.
Right.
Right. We have things that, we have to get ourselves established. We got these abilities that we needed to implement, and in order for us to implement these things, we got to make sure we get ourselves together for that. Especially going into a relationship where we are the leaders, well, supposedly the leaders of the relationship. Okay,
right.
so yes, we're constantly working on ourselves, and as far as getting ourselves together for a relationship, that applies to both genders.
Right.
Yeah.
It applies to both
Absolutely.
genders.
Mhm.
Both the man and the woman. But it seems like it's only the woman who keeps saying, "Take me as I am." You don't hear that
Yep.
from us.
Hell no.
Nope.
Nope, you don't hear that from us men. Because we're more open to change compared to women. If we got issues of some sort, we be like, nah, I gotta sort myself out before I get into a
Gotta get it
relationship.
straight before I even.
I've had guys I went to high school with that went through traumatic situations for one reason or another, and I asked him, "How's your love life going?" He said, "What love life? I ain't got time for that right now. I'm trying to work on me."
Right.
And you know what? That's what I need to hear. Now, was he
Yeah.
playing the field? Yeah, he was playing the field, but he wasn't trying to be serious with anybody because he had some shit to work on.
Right.
So that's very true.
Yeah.
But the women, despite the problems that they got, they will go around here getting with this guy, getting with that guy, getting with that guy, and then they start feeling good about themselves in that moment.
No,
It's
but
like it's like smoking weed. You feel good from the high, but then the next day you're like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
everything,
It's like a
because that smoke, all that smoke did was disguise how you feel in the moment and make you feel good for a second. But when you come down, you're gonna have to realize what's going on in reality. And reality is you still got that same problems, pain, stress, and anxiety all in your head. It was just stifled for a moment. And what you guys said is so true. And I don't have any statistics, numbers, and all that kind of stuff. Rivah just be giving it to y'all real. Okay. I don't come with no book, no this, no that. I'm just telling you what I know. And the reason why I know for a fact that that's true is because look at the panel. It's men. Look at the people who are in the comment section. It's men. Look at the people when you call on other shows. Who's constantly involved in these conversations? It's men because they are willing and able. It's the women who are on the other side like, forget those men. We don't need to worry about this. Literally missing the entire revolution of evolution that's going on when it comes to relationships, focusing on selfishness. And the women who are focused on these things are growing, learning, are going to be married. And then when those women finally look up, what men are you going to have to choose from?
Yeah. It's like a personal space for us men to speak our minds.
Yeah. And women, hey, I'm not going to lie, I'm very thankful. I've seen a lot of women as of late subscribing to my channel or DMing me on Instagram. Hey girl, I watched this video and I'm not going to lie, I thought this. And I appreciate that so much because it means that we're moving the needle a little bit.
Yeah. You're giving them hope. You're giving us
they can
hope.
also hear you guys all speak. And so they know that it's not just these women trying to be, in competition to look like the cool one. No, we're really having conversations that are so necessary. And the men are telling you like, oh, where the men at? Where the good men at? Here they are.
We're standing right here. We're in your panel speaking this knowledge and taking insight knowledge.
You're here every Monday night, like talking. Like,
hilarious.
You can see them.
Right.
Hello,
Actually,
Sandra.
Tuesday.
What's up, girl?
Hey sis.
Hey, girl. What's up, girl?
Thanks for the follow on Instagram.
Of course, girl.
Us pick-me's, we gotta stick together.
For real. No, for real.
But I just wanted to hop on and say that what's happened is they've confused and bastardized the idea of take me as I am. So essentially what that should be is, okay, maybe I'm interested in these different things, or, I have different interests or a religion or whatever, things like that are part of your value system, that is a part of who you are. Take me as that person. Take me as who I am. Maybe I'm socially awkward, don't want me to be something that I'm not. But instead of having it be about those qualities, it's about these negative qualities that you shouldn't even want to be a part of who you are. Like, are you going to tell me that being overweight is part of who you are as a person? is part of what your core value and belief is, are you going to tell me that being disrespectful is a core value of yours, of who you are? So if you're saying take me as I am, and the characteristics that you're expecting people to take are all low vibrational, unhealthy, both physically and mentally and spiritually and emotionally, then what does that say about you as a person? And can you honestly think that you deserve a good man if those are the qualities that you value, the qualities that you want someone to accept, things that are negative, and things that, if we're being honest, they wouldn't accept from men? They wouldn't accept a man treating them in that way that they're treating that man. They wouldn't accept a man that's way overweight. They wouldn't accept all these different qualities, but they expect like men to accept, to accept these different low vibrational qualities. So I'm gonna need us to please stop bastardizing this idea of take me as I am. That's for value systems. That's for personal things that you're interested in, or maybe quirks that you might have, or even people that have like actual disabilities, people that have actual disfigurement or things like that. Take us as we are in that way, not our disrespectful, low vibrational, not taking care of ourselves behavior.
You know what? Thank you so much, Sandra Faye.
Absolutely right.
Okay, thank you. But also, you know what? Why this is so funny to me is because I did a reaction video today, and it was about a woman who was talking about, like, if a man treated you how you treated him, how would you feel? And we all know that the woman would not be able to take that. But let's take that a jump and a leap further, like Sandra just said. You have all of these things. Oh, take me as I am. Take me like this. If a man is like, take me as a non-provider. Okay.
Damn.
Take me as somebody who doesn't come home at night because he's too busy out partying. Okay. Take me as somebody who's just gonna discredit every single thing that you do and have a nasty attitude when you come home. And if you ask me if you look fat, and I'm gonna tell you, hell yeah, you do. Take me as that. Women will be like, oh, the patriarchy.
You're such a misogynist.
Oh, it's just the men trying to keep us down. Like, but in actuality, that's exactly what you're doing to the men. That's what you're doing. You're saying you can't have any thoughts, opinions, feelings, choices, standards. Okay. And you're going to have to deal with everything. And if we're going to be honest, especially if we're talking about our community of Black men, they've already heard from their mama what they can and can't do, are or are not. Sometimes that's where they were the first emasculated. Was in their home as a child, beaten and talked to, and go sit down. And what you crying for? You're not a man. You're not a. So if you are now replicating that exact energy, what do you want this man to do? Lose it? Because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like you want this man to just lose it.
Yeah,
he's not good enough for the world.
Yeah, and just hearing just what you said about to take me as I am, it's so selfish. It is selfish because if you tell me to take me as I am, we don't care about what your feelings are. Okay, just care about my feelings. That's selfish, to me.
Yeah,
right. I agree.
Extremely.
It is selfish.
You should want to be your best self.
Right, and a lot of these women are selfish. Hi, Wes.
Good evening. Thanks for bringing me on.
Of course.
So I've missed part of the conversation. What's the root question tonight?
Okay, so the root topic is women who are, using the law of attraction to manifest, their husband, writing a list, making it plain. I shared my story very briefly of how the first time I ever heard of this was when I was like a church goer when I was young, really young. And like the pastor was like talking to the women and was like, all the single women in the church, get a piece of paper, get a pen, write it down, make it plain, and God is going to bless you with a husband, So like creating this whole thing that you can just write down your ideal person, think about it, manifest it, attract this person to you. And you have to do absolutely nothing. You don't have to change. You don't have to grow. This person will meet you where you are.
Okay. I think to take it a step further, the real problem is a lot of women are being told you deserve anything you feel like you deserve, regardless of what else is going on.
Right.
So it's kind of like it's kind of like an 18-year-old walking into a real estate firm and says, "I deserve to be the director of this firm. Give me the job." Is that going to happen? No. The best you can do is get an opportunity to one day be in that position.
Right.
So I think there is truth to the concept of positive affirmations and putting out to the universe what you're looking for.
Yes.
One of the other problems there is a lot of women are looking for highly conflicting ideas.
Yes.
Okay. So a lot of times women are going to want a man that has a lot of money and a lot of time. If a man has a lot of time, he doesn't have a lot of money because he's not working that much. If a man has a lot of money, he doesn't have a lot of time.
Right.
Because he's working a lot. And a lot of the modern women are having a hard time, contrasting these two ideas and not realizing, well, okay, it's not that she has to sacrifice something. She's not sacrificing anything by choosing one or the other. She's just coming to a certain realization of what she may or may not want. Because I remember seeing like a TED Talk being given by a woman a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
She had this ridiculous list of what she wanted her man to be, and he had to be like a computer expert and have like ninja skills and like, totally like something out of a comedy movie.
Really?
And yes. It's exactly what it sounded like from that it sounded like that dude from Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, him.
Got hacking skills and this skill and that stuff.
Yeah, that guy.
And that's what she wanted her man to be, and it's kind of like this dude does not exist. Have you thought about choosing a man that is genuinely kind to you and is willing to build a life with you, and and is supportive, actually fulfills his roles, but also a man that most of the time, a man that is capable of fulfilling his roles is looking for a woman that will also fulfill her roles as well.
Right. It's important. I mean, it's important. And that's what we're saying too. Like, imagine if men had that same mentality. Like, imagine if men were like, okay, like, take me as I am. I didn't graduate high school. Like, I'm not doing anything. I live nowhere. I literally live nowhere. And no, I don't feel like working ever. So just take me as I am. Like, women will be like, this guy is literally nuts. But a woman who's like you just said, I want a guy who does karate, who does jujitsu, who does, it is like, but he's a banker. It's like, okay, sweetie. Like, I'm sure he might exist some possible where, but that's not a realistic mentality. And that's why I was saying too, in the cause of evolution and evolving and growth, it's so important that like the standards of women are not just when it comes to image, because there's so much more value. And I want to say this too. I want to let Dondrick speak. Child, Dondrick driving. I don't know how Dondrick is doing this. Don't try this at home. But I want to say that for when it comes to men, as a woman who is looking to be in a relationship with a man, to have a good relationship with a man, this is the person that's going to be the father of your children. When you're looking at this man, you should be able to say that this is who I want my son to be. And when you're a man and you're looking at your woman, you should say, this is who I want my daughter to become. So how can a man have that situation with you, or have that mentality with you, or even want to procreate with you, marry you, if you're saying, yes, I am. I don't need to change. I don't need to grow. How are you going to teach children of growth in life? Like, life is literally all about growth. So if you're negating the growth,
that's so true.
Make it make sense. Dondrick, you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
How is it back there in 1985, there, Dondrick?
Jacket fire though, Dondrick.
So look, this is one thing that I noticed, right? And this kind of might be kind of off topic, but it's gonna lead back there.
Okay.
I've noticed, right, and this is a worldwide thing, or at least the Western world. We have it's all based into an ascendant structure, right?
Mm-hmm.
We in our culture, our people, we all put so much emphasis on things that might sound good on face value, but if you don't know, most people really don't know about how a woman or man minds work. And it I see this with my own family. Like my mom, she used to do things that would be very, at the time I didn't notice it, but it was very demasculating to me. And like she would, and I seen her do it with her with the guys that she was with. My mom was a single mother, and the whole oh man, I'm sorry, but the whole what she used to do with me was like, if I was say I would, and this me like 15 years old, right? Say I'm playing a video game, for instance, right? She would come to me and she'd tell me to do something, right? I go do it. And this stuff that kids go through all the time, but with me I think of it something different, because she would come to me, tell me to do something. Oh, go wash the dishes.
Right.
The dishes is I see this pathologically with a lot of people, a lot of females I see. They so controlling. Like she would just tell me to do stuff that I already have done, or she just keep telling me to do stuff. If I'm, and I could be inside the house just chilling,
right?
And it's just over and over, and I would see this same thing throughout my life of like the women in my life or the people that I know in my life. I ain't gonna say just women, but mostly women. They have this mindset of like, I'm just gonna move. I'm gonna get what I got from. I'm gonna get what you giving, and then I'm gonna never give. Right. And I've been like my mom. I would give to the sun turn dark, and I've been doing this. I was doing this since I was young. My first job, I was working at UPS, and I was paying my mom's bills, helping her out, because I started seeing the same things that what Kevin was talking about, like later on, my mom was never married, right? So she never had nobody to help her. So I was the one to help her. I helped her until to this day. I drive trucks now, and I pay everything for it.
Right.
And people don't really. It's like it's almost to offend. I am my mom's son husband.
Codependency is called.
And it's hard for me to be like turn her down and say no to her. I'm 22 right now.
Oh wow, you're young.
Yeah, I'm very young, and my whole life it's been me serving my mom. And then when it came to me talking, and I've been like under my mom since I was like forever. So it's.
Well, Dondrick, I want to say something. And I feel like one of the reasons why it's probably the route that you're taking to have this conversation is because it's a little uncomfortable, because it's somebody so close to you, like your mom. You guys have such a great relationship. I know that kind of like vibe where you want to say it, like if it was a girl you're talking about. Yeah, but because it's your mom, it's like
it's hard to. I'm young.
Make her seem, but I also, and one thing I can say is that at 22 years old, you having this conversation with us is amazing. I mean, it shows that you're aware of it, because some people don't figure it out till they married with their own kids and then have to choose between their wife and their mom. Okay, so the fact that you're 22 and realize that there's nothing wrong with assisting your mom. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with aiding your mom, being there for your mom, holding it down for your mom because you're her only child, right?
Yeah.
I get that.
No, I'm not her. I'm not her only child. No, I have a brother. I have a brother.
He's older.
It's me and my brother. Yeah, my brother younger than me. No, my brother is a rebellious son of a.
Okay.
He
so
really.
he not with that. Okay. So he leave it all on.
Because I kind of put him on the whole time when he was I already knew the things that like. It's surprising to me because the things that y'all talk about, or just the manosphere in general, it's been the things that I've been thinking about inside of my head for the longest, but I haven't been able to find somewhere or know anybody, man, woman, to help me
navigate
the situation because I don't know. I just
helping is good, and one thing that's so important, especially when it comes to kids that are growing up into adults, how you are in your home life, that teaches you so much about when you are an adult. So like, you know, you being able to provide and take care of and assist your mom and like make things comfortable, maybe learn how to pay bills and stuff like that. That's gonna make you a great, you know, husband and father one day. However, okay,
where's the but
I have to wave the red flag and say sometimes our parents' inability to mature and grow up becomes the burden of their children, which should not be so because they have lived and they have been 22 and were able to make their own free choices and do whatever they want to do. And you should have the ability to do so also. If you say you want to move to Japan tomorrow, you should have the ability to do so without being like, what about my
mom? Right. And this, I'm gonna tell you this. I've had my, like, I go out and things like that, but then it's like, but I gotta think about my mom. What's going on with you? Let me she be like, well, she is out of nowhere. Let me borrow $500. Oh shit. Oh.
That's mom right there freezing the connection.
His mama called. His mama said, "You better get off them live talking about me with them people." I'm calling my name on this spot.
It's crazy mom senses.
He said, Dondrick, you better pull the car up back to the house. I know you ain't out there talking about my business.
She gonna knock him back into 1985.
She sure is. She sure is. I'm gonna drop him down, and then if he comes back on, I don't know, maybe his phone died or his phone froze.
His mom gonna come back on. You better hurry up and close it.
What that girl with the bun said? I knew you didn't tell him not to help me. What do you guys? I just want to really quick before we move on because I see Uncle in the back chat. You guys know I love Uncle. Okay, he's so funny. I love Uncle whenever he comes up and has something to say. But oh yeah, so he just dropped off. So I guess something happened with Dondrick. But what do you guys think about this? I mean, this is kind of off topic, but this whole son husband thing, like, oh my goodness.
It's very true. It's very true, and I can say that having been a part of that. Like I'm gonna say this. I've had experiences most people haven't had. Like I spoke on another live. I went from being the baby in a married household, I had an older brother, to being the only child in a single parent home, to being the older brother in another married home situation. You know,
right.
So I've experienced the whole array of it, and a part of that was the son husband type situation up until the point, even though my mother was married, she still relied on me for certain things. And I didn't realize how much that affected me in my own growth as a man until a couple of years ago, until after she passed away. It took that long for me to see what was really going on with me, that I was carrying stuff from her because of all the stuff she put on me that I didn't realize she put on me. I'm still finding out new stuff every day about myself.
I think it's so unfair. And I want to say this though. A portion of that situation is because they don't know any better. That's a big portion of the situation. They don't know any better. They never saw anybody else succeed or, you know, go to a certain limit by themselves. So they are indeed, you know, working off of not knowing better. But there's also another there's another spectrum of people who don't want you to know any better because they know better, but they don't want you to know any better and you to become the wiser because they try to guilt trip you and put you in the corner to always be there and to assist them because they kind of see what their life would be like or the lack thereof without you around because they are the women that we talk about. That there is a separation with no man. So in that aspect, they want to just force their son to become this perfect man for them that can't go nowhere and has to stay at home. I saw you saying something, Edward.
Well, as a son, I had a lot of stuff to that, for many reasons. One of my backgrounds is, and I'm gonna give it to Uncle Loke soon. Is one of my backgrounds is in cultural anthropology, just studying different cultures, but I've also been a Black dude for a minute, and I'm from Jersey, and I know how it is. And
where's Jersey from, by the way?
I'm from Central Jersey, so from New Brunswick. So
okay.
I'm sure you might know Newark and Jersey Shore. I'm in the middle of that.
Okay, yeah.
But I just wanted to say to that. Well, I have a little bit to say, and then I'm going to get to that. Like,
okay.
One thing my father told me once is he used to tell me these stories of how we used to go to Head Start. So that's pre-kindergarten for people who don't know. And he used to say all the children would come to him because they're not used to seeing a man at all. So he had to so it really made me appreciate having a father in the home. And also the father, without him, I think a lot of sisters, just like we need a mother, they need, just like we might need a female figure, they need a male figure. So they kind of try to compensate for that natural instinctive feeling to try to make the boy or the son into what that is. So that relationship is toxic. I was going to ask him if he lived with the mother because the things that the mother has told him, he has been groomed just like almost like a predator would groom someone.
Right.
It is predatory if you think about it. It may not be a physical abuse, but it damn sure is mental abuse and psychological abuse.
Yeah.
Because so I think he needs to. I think by the time he kind of wakes up from it, I think it'll be like a little bit too deep. I call this one quicksand almost. Like you're not really aware of how deep you're falling into it until there comes a situation where he has to get out. And when he told me about his brother, I knew that his brother wasn't the same. I knew that she zeroed in on him and he's the pride and joy and she's feeding him love and attention, but it's tinged with toxicity and pain and bondage.
Right.
So,
right. And I'm gonna be honest. I had this. I would never call names because they would be so mad at me. But I have one of my little cousins that I always talk to, and I always feel so bad because whenever you grow up with that mentality, he'll talk to me about certain things, and I'm like, stand up, no, she can't just tell you. This girl can't call you and tell you that no, you're the one who's in control. You're the one who is in line with the date. You need to be a man, But when you have these guys who are raised with this single mother and the heart for a woman and they pedestalize women to a fault, they put them above everything else to a fault because their mom, is their mother. I get it. That's your home for 9-10 months. And then when you are born, that's the only person that can feed you and all that kind of stuff, from their body. I get it. I get the connection. But that connection can keep you bound. Okay. It can definitely keep you bound because he can be looking for a girl, right? Looking for a girl, start a relationship with a girl, taking her on dates or whatever the case is, saving up to buy his own and start his own family. Because what if he gets married? Okay, you get married, you're going to have to still worry about your mom. Because she's going to tell you to buy herself. Sabotage it or she's moving in, which can still sabotage it.
There's so many marriages like that. I mean, not to get too personal, but I know some family like that who runs the relationship is not even the wife, it's the wife's mother or the husband's mother that runs the whole relationship. Says what goes, what doesn't go. And it's something about guys. I don't know if you know this, River, but like when we hear our mom's voice or we turn into like a little boy almost. You'll notice, I was just watching his body language and everything, just like when he's thinking about his mom, it's like he's that little kid again, so it's like
that's why it's so important to have fathers in the home. That's why it's so important for our sons to have relationships with their fathers. This is why we talk about this. This is why it's so vital. You cannot replace that energy. You cannot replace that connection. You cannot replace that relationship no matter what you do, because that's that man that's going to teach you critical thinking and structure. Okay? Women can teach you affection. We can teach you love. We can teach you how to treat a woman. But the only thing that a woman can do when it comes to trying to raise a man or teach a man is the men that she's encountered or the men that she doesn't like. So she's either going to turn you into the men that she's encountered, or she's going to try and turn you into the men that she could not get. Or the walk all over sim that do whatever she say.
There you go.
I know you saw the meme on Facebook. Like it's like it said, why do baby mamas dress their kids up like the man who left them? Like they dress them like they give them the tattoos and the backwards cap, and so on that one.
It's predatory.
We just doing a round robin on this?
Yes. Well, actually, I want you to say Uncle, I just want Wes to say what he has to say, and then Uncle, I want you to feel free to jump into the conversation. So go ahead, yes.
Thank you. So Dondrick's problem, aside from really liking 1985, I can't get that out of my head. But his mother, his mother does not like herself. Her mother feels guilt and self-hatred, feelings of unworthiness, and it's tied to her not having a man in her life. It probably has something to do with her not having a father, very likely. He did not get deep into that subject.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure she just did not know how to interact with males. She was bitter that she didn't have his father in their lives. To some degree, she may have been doing the best she knew how to do, but also that toxicity, keeps playing out, because when you look at Dondrick, you could see he was hurting. Yeah. But at no point could you see that he was a bad guy. Could you see that he was a bitter man? It's just he's still trying to understand himself why she would be that way. And the reason why men are the way they are with their mothers is because we all just want to receive a mother's love. Yeah. Mother's love, mother's acceptance, and they don't ever want to have to be in the position of telling their mother to get out of their lives. That's right. That's just another form of trauma. Yep. That no one wants to deal with. It's traumatic enough to have, like you said, because I've seen that there was a show a few years ago where there's a dating show where guys were trying to pick a woman to be with, but the mother was the one picking them. They were horrible. Worst mothers in America. So seeing that is horrible. That is traumatic for a man to have his mother controlling his life that much. But he has to wonder: is it equally traumatic to push her off, because she probably won't come back? She'll probably leave in bitterness and never be a functional part of their life again.
Sometimes. But I think as a mother, I think the what you're supposed to be able to teach your son. Sandra, do you have to leave?
Yeah. I actually have to call my mom.
Oh, okay.
But
tell her hi for us.
We'll do. Bye, y'all.
Okay, bye. See you next time. Thank you so much, Sandra.
Bye.
And if somebody can drop her channel in the chat, of course, Sandra Faye. I always like when she calls in. She's so sweet. But the thing is that's so sad is that a mother's job with her son, a mother's job with her daughter is to train her. to be her, okay? To be able to make this person ready to be a wife, ready to be a helpmate to somebody, ready to be a mother to somebody else, be a clean person, know how to cook, know how to do all of these things, like teaching you how to be a functional person. But a mother's job for a son is to teach him the affection and the love that he's supposed to and respect that he's supposed to receive from his spouse. That's what you're supposed to be teaching your son, not making your son be the one that's the sole provider. Sometimes it's so sad. Again, sometimes it's a lack of knowledge, but more times than not, it is actually like your son is supposed to be able to be his whole person. Like, you already lived your life. You already went through high school, college, whatever it is, or the lack thereof. You have to allow your children the ability to live their lives and experience. Don't try to make them, make up for the stuff that you didn't get to do. You didn't have a baby. Well, I was going to say you didn't have a baby to come over here and help you pay bills, but that's not true, because we know that that's very true for some people. That is exactly why they had that baby. So, but it's so important to allow our young men to stand on their own, because then they come into the relationship. Now you have a woman that's come into a relationship talking about, take me as I am, with my attitude and my this and my that, and I run the show. And a man who's kind of broken from his own childhood with his relationship with his mother, who's saying, okay. And it's just a toxic relationship, because now he's in a relationship with that same kind of woman, combative, telling him what to do, running the show. Where's your paycheck? Give me your phone. Who you talking to? Where you going? Where you this? Where you that? Yelling at him in front of the kids. His kids don't respect him. He gets problems at the job. His mama don't respect him. It's horrible. It's like a horrible cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Hello, Uncle. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Miss Lady?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all good, man. You know what? Actually, this son husband topic is really not off topic at all. It slides in. Because what has happened with the Generation X, and so on, is the generation that has mostly been raised by their grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the first generation since we've been out of the cast iron that has been raised, not by their parents.
Right.
Been raised by their grandparents, or their mama had to go to work, so you spend more time. You basically being raised by the previous generation. Right. So and nowadays you have people, Generation X, or whatever generation is recent. A lot of them don't even have grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like, and also the lack of community died. Because the lack of community died. So when the lack of community died, even though you might have not had a man in the house, you had a man outside. There's nobody. They don't even starting. I was. Where? Hello.
Okay, we can hear you.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Damn. Come the fuck on, man.
Talking about a man outside. Think that's the last thing you heard.
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear us?
Hello. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Okay.
Somebody called me or whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it started in the I forgot where I was at. Starting in the 90s and the 2000s, mothers stopped allowing their children to come outside. So it's just like where, damn, I hate this shit. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, my fault. I guess I can't do the speakerphone thing I was doing in the car. Somebody called me, messed it up. But anyway, what I was saying was, and that's what happened. And now you have generations of children that, like me, I had to go outside. Cause I ain't gonna hold you. My grandfather, he's a strong working man and all that, but he was a simp. So, you know what I'm saying? He worked until he was 80. He worked until he was 83 years old. And he mostly he died. I think he died of a broken heart. Cause my grandmom, she wasn't shit to that man. You know what I'm saying? As soon as he got weak, she started moving different.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why he died. You know what I'm saying? And my uncle too. in reference, like my uncle, man. I mean, this man. You know, I know y'all don't like Pookies and Ray Rays around here, but this man done survived the streets. He done survived getting shot 14 times. He done survived, you know, he done survived. He done beat like damn near, I think he exaggerating, but he done beat a lot of trials. He done got banned from a state for him to grow to him. He done survived a lot and did a lot for his mom.
Right.
And this man died of a broken heart too.
Wow.
By the same woman. Now, like I say, like, so it's just like me. I had a little situation, but it's different. You know what I'm saying? Well, I had to realize, what was it, 2 years ago? My mom told me some shit, and I'm like, damn. The start of all my what took me down this road was your ass. I was a little kid. I jumped off the porch very young, at age 4. So let's just say I didn't have no motherfucking childhood.
Right.
So I had to defend this woman's honor. Somebody talk about mom, fight. Somebody crack a joke, fight. She told me, don't never let nobody disrespect you. If somebody disrespect you, say F you to them. That messed me up. I mean, like, the teachers didn't like me. I cussed the teachers out because they said my name wrong. All because it was seen as a sign of disrespect when they mispronounced my name. Now, like I said, since I can't blame nobody for my own actions.
But I understand what you're saying.
But at the same time, she was the motivation. Like, it was so messed up.
Me of, Uncle? It's like I'm sure you guys have watched Power before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
You remember when Tasha was like pressuring Tariq? Pressuring him, like his dad is the one that's like stable, level-headed, like no, go to school, do the right thing, you know, and his mom was like, no, like do it behind his back, like pressuring him to literally do the wrong things. And I'm using that for an example because that is what our mothers have the ability to do that to children, you know, because of that trust and that connection that they have of being like always there. They will either say backhanded things to make you feel weak for not doing certain things, or they will motivate you in a different way, right? Because they're not gonna come 100% full out and just be like, do this, don't do this, do that. You know, they have their ways because they know you so well to get into your mind frame and be like, oh, you know what you should do? You should do this, or you know what you should do? You should do that. Or they're like, oh, only weak men do stuff like that. You know, backhanded to make you feel like, oh, well, I'm not a weak man, so let me do this instead. Like the mind games. And it's a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing. Dondrick, you back. Okay, we didn't know what happened.
Yeah. Listen.
Dang.
Dondrick.
He went off.
Oh, he came back again. Okay.
But listen, let me say this and then I'm gonna slide off. You heard me?
Of course, Uncle.
Listen. What I've had to learn was, and it took me to learn this, when she said some goofy stuff, because in my family, I'm the patriarch. I'm the wolf that they call when people acting up. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, I got you.
I'm the one they call if anybody got a problem, they come get me. So what I learned was she told me something about, she said something that I ain't here to offend no Christians and all that. I mean, I ain't here to offend any Christians and all that.
Say what you gotta say.
She said some stuff like, you're not my, you're not, I'm not, you're not, what she say? Basically something to the effect where you're not my responsibility. I just carried you.
Yeah.
You know, you're Jesus. You're a Jesus baby or some shit like that. You the Lord. I said to myself, you mean to tell? I said some shit. I said, listen, you mean to tell me that? I mean, it was heartbreaking. And I said, I ain't no motherfucking fictional character, baby. Motherfucker, you're supposed to be responsible for me.
Right.
Nigga? And it's just like, because I was going through some shit with my son and some legal shit with my son, and I just told her, leave me alone. leave me alone. I don't got time. And she just kept going and going and going, and I snapped on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and like I said, and this is weird because me and my mom, we don't have no mother and son relationship. We have a big homie, little homie relationship.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I mean, she gave me the game on how to survive certain things in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Put me on different game. Taught me how to run certain hustles, and you dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So you know what I mean? Because like I said, she wasn't like, even though she didn't raise me, she would come around every once in a while. She was more active than my sperm donor.
Okay.
So
He's not even
all
around.
Huh?
So he wasn't even around. So it was just her.
Nah, he would come, but it was a kind of ironic, like crazy situation. My mom was a hustler, and my dad, he was like a bougie ass nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Okay.
he lived on the right side of town.
I understand.
So you know what I'm saying? He lived on the right side of town. So you know what I mean? So he didn't, I would go to his house sometimes, or I would walk to his house sometimes, but you know what I mean, that's another story.
Right.
But but my point is that the best thing homie can do is put her on pension, put her on a working plan so she can earn her room and board, because that's gonna mess up your whole life. My uncle died. My uncle only had one son. One son. His son ended up having like 1 million kids, but he ended up spending his whole life devoting it and being dedicated and making sure his mom was right. And he died like that.
Right.
So what I'm saying, put her on a pension, make her earn her room and board, and move on to have your life, because on the whole tip, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm a mama's boy too, but being as though that I didn't get no titty time, I'm not really connected like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like I took on her gangster ways. I didn't take off of none of her sensitive shit, because my mom is one of them type of moms where she just want the money. She don't want no card or nothing. She's cold and callous like a motherfucker, but she's not abusive. That's one thing I can give her.
Yeah.
But she, based on her upbringing, you know what I'm saying? She's the type of woman who bought her own house when she was 18.
Right.
So I can't. She's not. But it's just like, yeah, she's not no emotional type of female.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm gonna say is, like, man, live your life, man. Get yourself together. If, like I said, make her earn. You paying her bills, just like she made you earn your room and board when you was a little kid. And just if you, I mean, that's just what it is. And live your life, homie. Because
Can I
on
say
some
something
real
to you
shit.
real quick? Can I say something to you real quick, man?
Go ahead.
Hey, I know this. All females are emotional. Either whether it's angry, sad, whatever emotion you want to say is emotion. But look, I'm gonna tell you this. This is what I would, in my situation. I heard y'all talking about the situation that I told y'all about before I got interrupted. It's the thing that she would do to me is like y'all was saying just a second ago, like emotionally manipulate, like trying to get leverage on me, and then using that leverage to emotionally manipulate me. And she knows she can do it, and she know where my buttons at. She know how to push them. Know what makes me mad. Know. And the thing about it is, I did not know all this stuff. I was completely blue. My pill was so blue, it didn't make no sense. I was so unaware of nothing that was going on around me at all. I didn't know that she was doing any of these things. I just thought she was just just a nagging mom like everybody else thought, everybody else thinks, right? That what my mindset was. But then one thing that made me just at all one moment, you know how it's like those movies when they had that moment where their eyes is just open and they see all the things happen, all these flashbacks. That moment for me was when Kevin Samuels said about shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. And I tell you this, I have been to the point where I will sit, if it's a conversation that she's not comfortable with having, right? And I try to go to her and have this conversation. Like, Mom, I don't like how you did this. You should. If I try to critique her in any way, even if I'm the calmest calmest possible, right? I can be monotone in the way I'm saying. So no facial expression, no nothing. And my mom would be beating me upside the head while I'm talking to her. And I was 20 years old at that time. 20 years old.
Yeah, everyone. We're like,
call the police. Look, call the police. Look, call the police on. She beat me up. Called the police on me and got an eviction notice on me. Use the police, right? Use the police to get not an eviction notice, but
And you still taking care of her?
But not eviction notice, but what's it called?
Well, are you still taking care of her?
Right. And that's what I want to know too.
Huh?
Are you still taking care of her?
Yeah. But
cut her off. Cut her off. She's done. Cut her off.
Where's that smack button?
It's over. Cut that shit off.
I'm getting part about
look. So AT&T had a problem. AT&T many years ago. They got a class action lawsuit because they were just putting things on people's bills that wasn't there. Cut that shit off.
Absolutely.
Look, I'm gonna say
no. Don't shake your head. Yes, do it.
Look. I recently started driving trucks, right? About 3 months ago, right? And I've been making weight. Like I used to make like 600, 400 a week, right? I went from 600 to 400 a week, and now I'm making about
bread. You're making bread.
200 a week, right? And the thing about it is I don't want to just cut her dry because I know the type of situation she in. Like the situation she is not pretty, bro. And
okay, so go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
I know what you say. I know what you're saying, man. I know what you're saying, man.
Look at we love you so much, Dondrick, and you 22. Look at all the men in here. We old. We know.
Youth is a state of mind, old man.
Okay.
I know. The mindset of when I first started seeing this stuff that's going on, because none of this stuff was here 3, 4 years ago. Like none of this stuff was here, and I didn't have no reference points, no nothing. I couldn't talk to nobody. I would just know that I was pissed off about this stuff, but I didn't know what the hell, why it pissed me off. When I started figuring out, like I said, same insult, guilt, need to bury, I started seeing it fucking everywhere.
But listen, Dondrick, let me say this from like a woman's perspective, and I feel like I'm talking to my little cousin because this is the same thing that I was talking about. The thing is that it's never gonna feel good. That situation is never going to feel good when the woman that's supposed to just be loving you, guiding you, and assisting you into being your best version of yourself is maybe manipulating a situation, maybe possibly using you for her own benefit, maybe using you as a tool. It's never going to feel good. But the fact that you are aware of that, you have to do something about that situation, because if not, it's going to affect you into your manhood when you have your own children. When you have your own spouse. I don't know if you heard when you got cut off, we were talking about that. Like, we just kept the conversation going, like, what's going to happen when he has children? What's going to happen when he has a wife? Because now your mom going to have to come move in with you and your wife. Or if she don't live with y'all and she live with herself and you living with your wife, your money going to have to go over there to her when you need it for your wife and for your kids. It's not healthy. Like, as parents, their job is to make you a functional adult. But she's kind of not making you a functional adult. She's making you a functional, you're an adult and you're functioning well, but she's trying to control you like you're still a child.
Functional dependent?
Yeah. But you know what's crazy is it's like, you know, that when you hit that, oh, I'm 18 or I'm grown now, right?
Which is crazy, but
I know, but you know the mindset that goes in here when I turn 18. Yeah, I'm grown as hell. Yeah, nobody can tell me nothing. You know,
right.
I when I first got to that mindset, she was like, that's you know when I hit 18, it got worse because she started seeing that I started being. Now I think about it, and I see it in the context of the knowledge that I know now. It started getting worse because she wanted me to. She did the man version of Order 66 of Kevin Samuels. She wanted me to be her retirement plan, and she seen that I wasn't doing what she wanted me to do. What she wanted, I wasn't under as much control as her because I was going out and I was experiencing the world more, and.
It's not fair. That's just not fair. In my mind frame, I know we can talk about so many reasons as to why it's not right, but it's just so unfair. Like, because you're going to be living your life to please somebody else forever.
Look, so, and now that I see, I know
his mama Monet.
I know. Look, at this point where I'm at in my mind, like, I'm not subordinate to my mom. My mindset is not in that mind space that I was at. I broke myself down to a point where things come a lot more easier the more knowledge you have, right? So I just started. I was into science as a kid. I was into science real heavy when I was a kid, right? And growing up, I was like I would do like scientific what's it called, the process for scientists, what they call it,
hypothesis,
not the hypothesis, the whole
science project.
No, the process that scientists use for analysis.
Scientific method.
Yeah, scientific method. You're right. I would use that out in the ordinary world, right? And this is how I'm just telling you how I went through it in my head, right? As I start when I found out about this, I just started looking at the world around me, and then looking at like statistics and I literally went and got a psychology book just to learn how my mind works. What made me think the way that I think, right? And it made it so much easier to process what's going on inside of the world, or what's going on with me and my mom's situation. Or it just made me think about like it made me feel bad for a lot of, like, seeing the statistic, right, for single mothers, right, and seeing how many boys are being rose under these single mothers and having to go through similar or almost the same, close to the same situation that I'm going through. That right there, it saddens me a lot, man. It makes me think like almost like there's no hope. But the culture is shifted to the point where it's like what we're saying, right? What y'all talk about, or what real, they literally were on their side of the aisle, or I'm a Republican, but on this side of the aisle, whatever they think, right? They think that we're a terror. What we talking about right here is a terror organization.
But I want to say something.
Yeah, you be careful with those words on a live stream.
Right. That's why I just kind of like over talked him so that it would drown it out. But the thing is that it's true, but you have to remember that as much as there's single mothers out there, there's a lot of women who had babies with a man that told them that they did not want the baby. Okay, they told them from the beginning they may want to have kids, but they don't want to. I don't want to have kids with you. And those women kept the child, kept the situation, and decided to be single mothers. You'd be surprised if you look at those statistics. You'd be surprised about the number of women that's true for. So they initiated. They knew it was a sneaky link. Okay, he only called 2 a.m. They was just hooking up, and they got pregnant, and they are the ones who are in control of who is bringing forth children into the world. So they decided to go ahead and deal with that and work with that. Okay, so in that aspect, you have to keep that in mind, that all of these things is life is not just happening to these people. It's not just happening in these scenarios. It is what in some aspects, and I'm gonna say this just to be fair, in some aspects it's because that's what their grandmama did, their mama did, they did it too, their friends did it, everybody in the society has done it. They don't know any better. They just know, oh, we just gonna have some babies and we just gonna get these stamps and this and we just gonna raise these kids and we can have as many kids as we want because we have assistance to be able to do so. So in some aspects it is a lack of knowledge, but in other aspects they know very well and true and sure of what is going on. And I wanted to say this also. Some men, their introduction to the manosphere or red pill content or anything like that is from being scorned from a relationship with a woman, right? They that's how they figure out the nature of a woman. They in a relationship with a girl, they think that she's amazing, she's great. She does something to him and he's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe women are capable of this. Now I'm up on game. Unfortunately, sometimes that woman who's introducing you to this stuff is your mom too. Sometimes it's the nature of the woman through the woman who raised you, and that hurts in a very different way. Very differently.
Look, my true, but I tell you this: the our nation, right, as a whole, we don't know the difference between a relationship and this right here is kind of, I don't even want to say it. We don't know how to
we don't know how to have real relationships anymore.
No, we don't know about the world, how the world actually works and how it functions. I'm 22 years old, right? And I've been paying attention just like worldwide. And this is bigger, than this, us, our community, or whatever. I've been looking worldwide. In Australia, I've been looking in places like Venezuela. I've been looking at places inside like Cuba. I've been looking at places like in Germany and places in like Korea, South Korea, all that, right? And one thing I noticed, right, though a lot of they are pushing this might sound, they are pushing this agenda of they got these transgender rights. Look, I'm telling you.
I think you're going a little too far off the rails there. There's other streams to that, man.
We are truck driving way beyond.
Come around. I'm telling you. This is what is eroding our core values. This might be popular belief, or people might not think this, but they are teaching people even as early as pre-K in first grade and stuff about the LGBT people, and they teaching them about this thing about their.
So I want to say, hold on. I want to stop you. Okay, I want to stop you. Hold on. Okay, so how can I? Okay, so the thing is that we can't focus anywhere else about what anybody else is doing, because you know why? We're not doing the right thing. We can't look at nowhere else because we have mothers and fathers who can't even raise kids in the same house. They can't even get along. They can't even co-parent. They can't even. You have women who don't even know who their baby daddy even is. Women that don't even know how to respect a man, period, any man, or authority in a role. They can't even keep a job because of their mouth and their attitude. So for me personally, I understand. I know that people have these conversations and they kind of bring up the whole thing, the whole spectrum of what globally is going on. But you know how you can navigate through the world globally when your home structure is good, when your home front is good. When I always say it. I said in the beginning of this stream, I think I said it in every live stream. The world is hard enough to then come home and have hell. Okay. So the world is hard. You know, you, Dondrick, for example, you have noticed all these things from your analyzing of other places and what you've seen and what has happened in schooling and all this kind of stuff. And then you have your mom trying to emasculate you and tell you what you're not, or what you can't do, or what you this, or you need to hurry up and do this, or, you know, even like you said, try to raise her hand to you as you're learning all of this knowledge, right? As a functioning adult in society and wanting to impart in society. So these are the structures and the conversations that we're trying to have to build up our units, our family units, because when you have, it don't matter what's going on. It don't matter what's going on at the school. It don't matter what somebody's teaching, anything. When you have two solid parents at home that are very involved, okay, that mother is very involved in the growth of her child's life. What's going on? What's your teacher's name? Let me go to the PTA meetings. Let me show up to this. Oh, you know what? Matter of fact, I don't agree with any of these values. Let me take my kid out of school because I'm going to homeschool you because I want to know what you're being taught.
Right.
We don't. A lot of our women don't even have those options because they don't even have a man. They have to go to work. They don't even know what's going on at the PTA.
Look, I'm gonna say, can I say this? The craziest part about it is as a man, when I think about these, about what a woman can do to be successful in her life, I be looking like this shit is so easy, but they make it so complicated and hard. I don't know. I don't understand the psyche behind it. But a matter of fact, I kind of do have some type of idea. I try not to get into this, man, but it's us as a society and as a whole. I tell people this all the time, right? There are ideas out here. There are ideas out here that are affecting people's mindsets. There are ideologies out here that is controlling that subconsciously is controlling them, and they don't know. They have this supremacist this old women look at themselves as they deify themselves in the ideology of Karl Marx, of Marxism. No, I'm telling you something that I looked up, and these was the two main ideologies or how to run a society, right? It was the idea that our forefathers came up inside of America.
Hey, homie, let me on. Hello?
We hear you, Uncle.
Hey, listen, homie. Push whatever program you trying to push, homie. This right here ain't even something that is remote to what you got going on. You feel me? Like what you're talking about is some stuff beyond you. Some stuff that might, if we don't come together and cooperate with each other, it's going to be a reality in the next 30 to 50 years. But if once we have these conversations and grow and develop, then that ain't even gonna be that's not even no future if we come together and do what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, our ancestors fought and died for constitutional protection. Now, if you decide to waive your rights, go ahead. But like I say, man, but that's on you. But all that Marxist stuff you kicking, that's the plan. I understand that, but it won't be no motherfucking. Hey, my man, let me say what I gotta say. It won't be no reality if we come together and work it out and build and turn this 20% marriage rate back to 80 or 90% marriage rate. It won't be like I said when but let me I know everything. I mean, I don't know everything, but I know exactly what you're speaking about. It's a plan that they plotted out. It's something like I said. One thing a lot of people don't know is that after the Second World War, even though black people were allowed to get, the GI Bill, a lot of them didn't even get an opportunity to use it. Welfare was not virtually available to black people until the 80s or the late 70s. So I know what you're talking about. It's engineered for us to. And I feel what you're saying. It's engineered for us to be not family orientated like that, and it's been like this for the past 60 years. Now you talking about some shit that will happen if you don't do what the fuck you got to do. If you don't man up and do what you got to do, if the rest of us or the collective don't man up, like I said, you got to understand that these females, that's the nicest thing I could call them. These females are not behaving like black women. No woman in her right mind would go against her best interest. And the best interest is the black collective. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not no prejudiced person, but hey, man, the black woman was made for me. But apparently the black woman think that she could do better. Okay, that's her business. But not every black woman is going to feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, so folks, let me say this and you can say whatever you got to say, homie. What I want you to know is focus on you, homie. Focus on what you got going on. If, like I said, if you want to continue to pay your mom bills, make her earn it. Real talk. Because I'm going to tell you one thing sure and sure, two things for certain. I was held accountable for everything I ever done since I was age 4 years old. I knew how to cook, fight, steal, travel, all that. You're not going to tell me no grown. Some females have children just so they can lean on them and leech off of them. So what I'm gonna tell you, man, don't give her no cool and none of that. Okay, you love her, you feel responsible for her, and you want to fulfill that son role. That's respectable. More honor to you, homie. But what I want to tell you though, what you need to do is you need to put her on the plan, give her like a little job that she can earn that, and then move about your life, and then start living your life. Get you your own family. And that's just what it's going to be. But, and that's all I got to say, homie. You state your claim, homie.
Thank you so much, Uncle. I really appreciate that. Because
the thing
about Dondrick. That's so valid, Uncle. Because and again, this is what I say. I remember there was a one conversation that I did, and somebody commented and was like, "Oh, there's so many more important things going on in the world to just be talking about relationships." I'm actually like, no. The most important thing that we should be talking about right now is relationships, because you need a solid home front. When you talk about the changes, Dondrick, and I can tell Dondrick, and this is no disrespect, okay? I say this respectfully, but I can tell that you're kind of newer to certain knowledge. And sometimes when you're newer to certain knowledge and you research a lot, you kind of want to dish it out to everyone so that they can understand. But a lot of people really do understand what's going on. We just don't say everything, right? A lot of people understand or see or know different narratives that are pushing. We talk about them sometimes, but we see the greater picture of everything that's being pushed. We definitely see it. However, the focal point when it comes to a certain level of wisdom, your focal point is focused on the thing that really matters. You can look, because if you focus on what everybody's doing all out here in this realm of the world, it will make you nuts, because there's all types of stuff that's always going to be going on. You have to focus on what's in your home and what you can control. You know what you can control? Fixing family units. You have a wife, right? You and your wife come together, you guys procreate and make children. You are now imparting into society by building good traits into these people. You fix the community, fix the society. Next thing you know, change is amongst us.
Yes,
It has to be what you can control, because you can't control what anybody else is doing, especially vastly up in the world, okay, where people have a lot of control when it comes to so many different aspects of it. You cannot control anything like that.
See, I'm not trying to control. I'm not trying to control it. I'm just look. I know what the mindset of the panel is. What mindset of the panel is. I'm just saying things. But since I have a general knowledge of what I think y'all know. But now, see, I completely understand exactly what you're saying, and I aspire to one day have my own family and have my own kids, and and have my own business, and all those things. That's what I aspire to do. That's my focal point in life. Get my career right, and then going on in my life and building a family. But see, you have to know causes of things to know how to handle something. A lot of people don't know the causes of things.
Can you pause for a second? I'm sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off. But Uncle Locke, do you have a channel?
I don't know.
Nah, homie, I don't got no channel. I tried to do it, man, but I don't got the focus on it. But I was doing some, taking the engine apart and putting it back together. But what's going on though?
Well, the thing is, if you make a channel, you should call it Uncle Locke beating your ass.
I love Uncle, man.
All right.
You know why? Because I like real people. Like, I like authentic people, and whatever that means, And he's so thorough. Like, Uncle Locke is so thorough. He's not coming up here and trying to be politically correct. He's not trying to, he just gonna tell you straight how it is from his life experiences. And I love when people can express from who exactly they are. I really, really love that. But go ahead, Wes. I know you were gonna say something.
Dondrick, the reason ultimately why I was cutting you off there is because you keep going way too off the rails.
Okay, I understand.
And I understand why you're doing this. You're doing that because your brain is opening up, and you have so many questions about the world around you, and you're processing so much information from your childhood. Trying to heal, and you're on the right path. Okay. Yeah. You're doing really good. You're doing really good at that self-healing and answering these questions within yourself. Okay. So I want to encourage you. It's good to keep seeking these things. Sounds like you need to find more people in your life that are understanding and have been through this, and keep doing that. But like for this instance, it's just going way too far off the rail. And to Rivah's point, the reason why she keeps saying you got to focus on relationships is because the family unit is the bricks that build a nation.
I know.
The more they crumble, the more that falls apart, which is a concept you already understand. But to focus just on, I know you have so many things to say, but to focus on on what's going on with you, just on what's going on with you.
Okay. Well, if we go to this, then this was my mind was. I was focusing. When y'all corrected me the first time, and said I was going to. You said I was going off the rail. I thought about it in my mind. I kind of am, but this I'm gonna get.
It's not things that we don't think about. It's just we've learned how to stay on one subject.
Okay, right. Uncle Locke, I'm gonna tell you this about what you said, because I was about to go there. Now this mind or having a this collective mindset, right? It can be good or bad, right? Because people can have a collective mindset when it comes to doing what we doing now or what we praise in the culture now. But we have to have our subset of people who are doing good are not being put out inside of the society and shown and showcased. It's not being something that is looked good upon. All the more toxic things inside of for our relationship, as far as relationships are being praised and look good upon, look good on. Damn, I can't even say it. Well,
Dodrick, you know what happens to toxic things?
What?
They die. and it's not pretty when it happens. That's what we're seeing right now with a lot of toxic ideas. A lot of these toxic ideas have come into bloom, and the people that wanted these toxic ideas think it's the most beautiful thing, but they don't realize that it can't exist as it is. It's inherently going to fall apart. Anything that involves self-hatred is inherently self-destructive and will fall apart. We're watching this, we're witnessing this in real time. So the best way to handle this is you're focusing on you and yours. And this brings me to the point that I really want to get to you is
I'm gonna start listening, man.
What is the first rule of lifeguarding? What is the first rule of lifeguarding?
First rule of lifeguarding.
Do you know how to swim?
Yeah.
Self-preservation.
Oh.
Well, kind of, yes. But to be more specific, the first rule of lifeguarding is that if you jump in the water to save someone and that person is pulling you down, you let go of them. Because there's no sense in both of you dying. So the point is, like, there's some people believe that you can always save someone. Everyone can be saved. No. If they don't want to be saved, it's not going to happen.
You don't want to be saved, don't save her.
So that's why I'm telling you to cut off your mother. She doesn't want to be better. She's not a benefit to your life. She is not. She may have given some good to you, but when she found out that when you turned 18, she realized that you were grown. She couldn't control you as much as she used to. That's why she started getting a little more crazy. That's why she calls the police on you and gets you kicked out of the house because she beat you. You don't need to hold on to that, okay? Cut her loose because she's only going to keep dragging you down. Focus on your own life. Forget about her. On Mother's Day, send her a Mother's Day card, and on that card write hi.
And just leave it at that.
Just leave it at that. Just move on. Like,
okay.
Focus on what you're doing, and no matter what anybody does, not even me, do not let anybody give you shit about the way you dress, because you got something going on there, man. You're really unique, and we all know you are going to win that breakdancing concert. Okay.
On the jogging suit, you know what I mean?
I love the '80s, man. Come on, I'm an '80s baby.
Flowers on the jogging suit.
On the breaks. No.
I like it, man.
Wow.
Edward, I know you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I wanted to say something, and it is a dope tracksuit. You can break dance and go to bed and pajamas too. Like, I think okay, so I wanted to say a few things, but I did have one question for Dondrick. So before I said that, and thank you, Wes, for that, because even I learned from that. So Dondrick, where's your father? Is he in your life at all?
My father passed away when I was 7 years old.
Okay. Very
sorry to hear that.
Very sorry to hear that. So I wanted to share with you at least my opinion of what it takes to be a father and what it takes to be a man. So there's three things that I think that are very important in being a man. Number one is what we say. Number two is what we think. And number three is our actions. So, and before I'm gonna make this real short. I wrote, so basically, the more you give to your mom, who we already established may not appreciate it, or it's not your responsibility necessarily to pay her bills or do anything for her. Right. The more you take away from your own peace with your money, your time, your energy, it doesn't seem like it is now, but it's taking away from your future children and your future marriage, because the things that you do now is affecting what happens later. Just like her manipulation tactics, she knew when you were small that she would be able to do this when you're older. So she had a plan. So we suggest that you also have a plan in order to get out. And what might happen is, once you do try to remove yourself fully, that's when she's going to unleash the dragon on you. And it's going to be even worse. I had the same relationship with my aunt. My aunt was around when I was a child. I didn't meet my mom till I was about 6 years old.
Wow.
A victim of the crack cocaine epidemic of the 80s. So And I had this relationship with my aunt, and I finished college, I graduated, and I received a job in Florida and as a teacher. And she was telling me all the reasons why I can't go, why I can't do it. And then when I did eventually leave, as hard as it was, she stopped talking to me. She changed the lock. She totally cut the relationship. And I didn't steal from her. I didn't wrong her, but she felt like I did. So I think it's kind of like no matter what you do, you're not going to please her. She's never going to be happy with what it's always going to be more money, more time, more attention. And you have to realize that your life and what you need is more important. And it's not your responsibility to be a co-husband or a son husband, but it's your responsibility to be the best person who you can be. And that's who we want. We don't want the Dondrick whose mom is bogging them down. We want the one who we know who you can be, the smart, intelligent, peaceful, happy, and you have more to offer us and the world when you're like that.
Yeah,
so that's just my thoughts on it.
Love that so much.
Can I say one thing about that, man? Because you don't know. I doing the whole thing, man. I went to after I found out and started looking things up, started reassessing myself. I went to therapy, right? And I was in therapy when I first did first month. Like I really couldn't express myself at all. Like I couldn't talk about the situation without like having like it was very traumatic for me to go through that shit, to even talk about it. And when I finally got it talked out, all the ins and outs of it, and having somebody to talk to about with it, it has opened and it has changed me to where like I see it. It's that moment where I see everything now. That story, what you just told me, man, it gives me it feels good. It feels good to know that not just people my age or the new generation has been through something like this. You have been, even the older generation has been and seen these things too. And I thought that like older people, this is what I thought, that older people, no, they had their mothers and fathers. They got a lot of them got money, successful, and all this stuff. They good and they know they that's what I thought. And seeing and being able to see and talk to somebody that has been through it and knows it, and then I've met people in real life like that knows what I'm going through, and done literally after she done kicked me out the house and literally took me off the street, and I talked to them about this. When I was like, man, my first time getting kicked out of the house from her was when I was 14 years old, and I met a man who knew my situation and was like, man, what's going on? It was, what's going on in your life? And I was telling him about what my mom did. He was like, man, it's gonna be like he was giving me like the context clues of hinting me towards what y'all are telling me now, and I just didn't know at the time how to break that down. I really didn't know anything, so I was just like, okay, yeah, whatever. But
it's important to know that, just like how you came on here tonight and you learned that, you said you thought that like everybody basically had both parents and kind of figured it out and nobody really is going through that. Yeah. It's the same way that you should realize that there's always something that you can learn. There's always going to be something that you can learn about life. And even when you're so strong and gung-ho about one thing, sometimes you get a different perspective and you're like, oh, I was so strict about that, but I didn't realize that if I think about it this way, that I could actually be wrong, or I could actually grow from that, And another really, really, really big key thing is that people always think that their burden is the heaviest, and that is not true. There's like that, I don't know if it's the African proverb. It was like, the guy was mad that he had no shoes until he saw the guy that had no feet. Like, there's a situation that can always be worse, always be worse. Even the situation with your mother, like as tough as that situation is and as heartbreaking as there is, you have some people who are born and don't know either parent. Okay, and are raised by the system in different households with different people who don't care nothing about them. So there's always, the burden can always get heavier and heavier and heavier. It's always looking at the glass as half full, but also knowing how to navigate. You can be kind, you can be nice, and you can have a great relationship, but you can't be a fool. It's not a good trait, because how you are, and again, respectfully, even how you communicate, it shows the influence that she's had over you. Because you communicate as if she would be communicating to you. That's how you communicate to us.
But this is how I am with most women. When it comes to me talking to like women, this is like it'd be hard for me to express if it's something that I was with my girlfriend for 3 years. And back when I was 17, even with her, I had like it came to things that I couldn't express myself or talk and say. If I disagreed with something or I didn't like something that she did, I couldn't express myself inside of the conversation talking to her. And
because you end up being it's the same exact situation of like with your mom. You end up with a woman that says, take me as I am, and you just have to kind of deal with it. Because that's what you've always done. With your mom, you just always dealt with it. So when you get into a relationship with a woman, you're going to always deal with it. She can't expect you to do nothing different. You can't expect yourself to operate differently. A man, or preferably the father, right? But a male figure in a man's life, irreplaceable, because now you are trying to figure out how to be a man as a man.
True. But
and how to navigate.
In that relationship, literally when I found out about this stuff and I came to these realizations, the day of I cut that girl off, right? And I started.
You cut the girl off, but you can't cut off your mama.
I know, but it's like it's a whole different situation. Like I don't separate myself from, like, when it comes to my mom, I've separated myself from her like this on a basis when it comes to she can't fool me no more. There's no I know all the tricks. I know all the tricks in the book. She can't fool me no more. And I don't, where I'm at in my mind, I don't think any female can really fool me. It comes down to the point where I have to now get out here and fail.
Are you still in therapy?
No.
Therapy is really good.
Yeah, what books have you been reading, Dondrick?
Why you ask me that?
What books have you been reading?
Okay, I've been reading. I read, right. Jordan Peterson. I read both his books.
Okay, good. What else?
I read what's it called? It's a book by what's his name? It's on the tip of my tongue.
Okay. What was it about?
It's about basically like, it was a book on like governmental systems and stuff like that, and something like that. That was the most recent book. The most recent three books I read. But I've been listening to a lot of audio books and stuff like that.
Okay, get a pen and a note paper. Let's get this thing moving. Let me know when you're ready. No, come on, pen and a note paper. You ready? Okay. Art of Loving by Eric Fromm.
Okay.
All right. New Laws of Psychology by Peter Kendallman, I think his name.
Mm-hmm.
And Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. That's going to cover. What's that?
You said New Laws of Psychology.
The New Laws of Psychology by Peter Kendallman.
Okay. And what's the last one you said?
The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And don't worry about misspelling something. I guarantee you, if you put it into Google, Google will find it for you. Those three cover pretty much the same subjects, but they're going from a psychoanalytical point of view to a modern understanding of what we've learned through the practice of psychology and the spiritual understanding. It's all encompassing. You might get a lot out of that.
And Uncle said read the book called 48 Laws of Power.
48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene. And I got one more for you. How to Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. I'll write it in the chat. That's another one. That's good. Books are a way that we can learn more about ourselves, because you can read a book 10 years from now and get something different from it. You can read it every day and see things that you wouldn't see before, because you're thinking thoughts that you've never thought before. So as we said before, you never know, someone could be doing worse than you. There's also a law that says you can never get there from here. You only get there from there. All you get is who you are in life. So once you start to change who you are, your circumstances will come to be better.
I see somebody said the No More Mr. Nice Guy book is very good. Is that sarcasm or is that a real book?
It's a real book. You know, if we're gonna play if we're gonna play the one up game, I got other suggestions.
Keep going. Keep going.
Hey man,
oh, well, if you read that book, you should read this book.
Hey, look though, I have like Jordan, what opened my mind or made me get into psychology really heavy was Jordan Peterson, right? And it was
But I think that one of the main things is that sometimes, like the books that they're telling you about, I feel like it's more about like development, like personal development, you know? And I think that's good. But I think when you start to get wisdom on things outside of yourself and you already have things that are uncured and unworked on within yourself, it's not good, because you're not building on a place of stability and structure. You're building on a place of kind of like chaos, anxiety. So it's going to make you more anxious of the things that are going on outside. So it's better to analyze. You can analyze the world and navigate the world better when you're like fully whole as a person. Because when you start getting into, I mean, we can talk about all types of stuff. You know, when you start researching certain stuff about like how it was back then and certain things that happen and control and power and all these things in the world, and even stuff as simple as like manifestation and attraction and all that kind of stuff. When your mind is not clear or stable, that's a dangerous space to be in. It can be kind of scary, to be honest, because you're not whole in your mind. So you're building upon all this information for somebody who's not whole, right? That's a dangerous space to be in, because you can see things for not necessarily for what they are, but from your level of interpretation, because we can only see things from our own level of interpretation. So if your level of interpretation is stifled to this level, but the information is at this level and you can only see it here, your judgment of what you're reading and what you're seeing is going to be off, way off.
I understand that can be true for a lot of people, but I'm of the mindset. I know I know that it can be a lot of information at one time, and it can overload you and have you looking and being like, oh well, the world is gonna be blown up in 10 years and all type of crazy madness. But I look at things very practically. I am a man of God, and I look at things. I read the Bible, and I look at the world very practically. I know that I have things from my past, but I don't bring those forward with me when I go on new ventures of ideas. I don't bring my emotions along with it. I think that's because of my childhood of I love science. Like science and like just being able to understand things is really it always intrigued me. So I don't think that in my life that I will be writing, and right now I know I'm somewhat just how I portray myself is or talk is nervous, and I don't know how to bring myself.
That's why I asked you if you were still in therapy, because sometimes the effects of trauma are not only just how you maneuver in life, but it's also even how you communicate too.
Yeah.
When it's hard for you to, and sometimes that comes from the childhood trauma of being, beat every time you say something, or, hurry up, get it out. What you trying to say? What? Say it. Being kind of like talking away and kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like it can create that thing with you where you're scared to even speak. That's why I specifically asked you if you're still in therapy. But guys, we have been on this live stream. Okay. 3 hours. And I think a whole hour we've been trying to talk to Dondrick. Okay. Trying to figure out what's going on with Dondrick and his mom. Okay. So what I want to do is I do want to go around the panel, and I want to allow everybody to give their last full thoughts on the topic. Okay. We talking about women who talking about they're gonna manifest, use the laws of attraction, and attract their husband and do all these things, and they have to take me as I am. I don't have to evolve. I don't have to elevate. I don't have to do anything. Take me as I am. Here I am. If you don't like it, goodbye, because I wrote my list. I stick to my list. And that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to go ahead and get on the accord of my list. If not, peace out. And we know that a lot of these women are not even in the space to say this. You talking about take me as I am, as Crimson Kier said when she came on. You don't even know who you are. Who are you? Okay. And that kind of tied into the conversation with Dondrick and the aspect of, his mama. I'm just using this for an example. We don't know her. Okay. Disclaimer. But his mom, kind of had that kind of same take me as I am attitude with her son. So him being the son now, the only women that he's going to be able to attract is women who have that same mentality. Take me as I am, because that's what he's used to. So he goes from hearing it from his mom to hearing it from his, wife, girlfriend, whatever it may be, because it was embedded in him. So these take me as I am women are not only getting in relationships and saying that to men, writing their lists and saying that to men, but they're also raising their children to bend to their, whether it's verbally, emotional attacks on them. You know what I'm saying? So everybody around them gotta take me as I am. It's their dog, their cat, the children, the man, their job, their family. Everybody take them as I am. So I'm gonna start with hustler, and then we're gonna go all the way around. Oh, I think you're on mute.
Just had to pick me, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
But as far
hey man, I'm gonna go ahead. Peace out. I don't think there's
okay.
All right, Dondrick.
Nice meeting you.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
As far as this whole take me as I am BS that I'm hearing women talk, I look at it like this. And I say this to men and to women. Before you even think about talking about some take me as I am, accept who I am, how about you get your damn life in order first? Get yourself together first, mentally, physically, emotionally, all that, before you go around talking about some take me as I am. Because from what I've seen in the past, these women don't have anything worth taking and worth accepting. Plain and simple. And I say it to both sides. Same thing with us men. We got to get ourselves in order before we go around expecting the chick to just take us as we are. We got to get ourselves together. So I say that on both ends. So those are my final thoughts. What do y'all think?
100% agree with that. Okay, yeah, take me as I am. Take what? What is it that I'm taking?
Something to take.
Because you said you don't cook, you don't clean, you're not supportive, you're not kind, you're not nice. You
Is
know,
that
that's
something to
soft
accept? Hell no.
Yeah, just
Your
take
man's a pookie and a rare running the streets every damn day selling drugs. That's nothing for him. That's nothing for her to accept either. So it goes both ways.
Gotta keep it 100. What do you have to say, pretty fly, for a white guy?
Learn how everyone, focus on being loving and kind to yourself. A lot of times when we accept in our lives what we think we deserve in our lives. So if we've learned to torture ourselves, it's because we believe that we need to be tortured, and we will go out and find someone that will torture us.
True.
So
That's
learning
deep.
to be loving and kind with yourself is the best start to actually going out and finding someone that will be loving and kind to you also. And also, if I meet a woman and she can't cook, ain't much gonna happen.
I want to say something to that point too. I think that's definitely an accurate statement to the men. Be loving and kind to yourself. But I think to the women, I think they need to be a little less loving and kind to themselves, because that breeds delusion. Okay, because as women, I can tell you as a woman, we don't feel good, and we drive in, we like, I deserve Starbucks. Like, I deserve it. For what? For what? Because you're outside and you're driving because you had to run errands. Like, you really don't deserve that. Like, you just, we are the ones. I feel like that's so true for men. Like, for men, they're so willing to kind of think like so realistic and so structured that maybe they feel like they might not deserve this, or maybe I'll just settle with a girl who will treat me like crap. Like, but for women, I feel like instead of being so loving and kind, sometimes it's just being able to be more realistic and live in reality. Being able to be real with yourself about the entire situation, not just what you think may sound good, or what the Lifetime movie that you watched said of how a relationship is supposed to go. Being able to be authentic and realize what it really is. Like, you know what? I could be in a relationship with somebody, but you know what? I think I need to work on this aspect of myself. So I'm going to try to work on that. And I'm going to be able to accept that I need to work on that because I don't know everything. But I definitely agree with what you said. Edward. Oh, Edward, can you drop a comment in the chat? Because I don't know if you have a wrench. I am not aware.
I do not have a wrench.
Okay, that's a problem. I saw because Sean leave a comment, and I was like, that doesn't have a wrench. So drop a comment. But I also want you to tell me your feelings about this.
Well, my feelings. Thank you. About the entire stream. Well, we went through a lot. Dondrick, I just want to say I love you, brother, and I think a lot we turned into big brother, big sister mode with him, because I've seen it. I've been through it. The message I wanted to leave, I wanted to break some stuff down. I don't know about everybody's background. I know we know a little bit. We're talking about manifestation and things. So I'm going to give some things that I've read in some metaphysical books. Meta means beyond the physical. And I learned that there's three parts of the mind. There is your conscious mind, which sees good or bad, life and death, hate and love. Then you have the subconscious mind that just gives you what you want. It doesn't see good or bad. It's just going to give you whatever you. So you say, I hate short men. It doesn't hear the word hate. It just says, oh, short men. You want to see short men. Short men.
It just hears the intensity of the short men. That's so true. It doesn't hear anything. It just, I can't stand a man that got kids. And they're like, that was so intense. We need a man with kids, I think.
Yes.
Good point.
We need more men with kids. And your feelings, so that what you feel deeply is going to be impressed on the mind. So they used to say it's like grooves on a record, but since we don't have that, we can think of it almost as an email. So you're kind of writing with your feelings the type of email that you have, whether it's hate or love. It's going to give you whatever you're feeling, and it's going to send it out. So the third part is the super conscious mind. That is the part where it's made of divine ideas, the person that you're supposed to have, the person that you're supposed to be with, the house that you're supposed to live in. So when you pray or you prepare for things, you're not supposed to prepare for the one that you want. You're supposed to prepare for the one that's right for you, because we don't see everything. So we don't necessarily know. So if I'm looking for a friend or work or relationship, my affirmation or what I would say is not give me this, let me have Riva and Wes and Kashawn as my friends. My prayer would be, or my affirmation would be, send me the right friends that are mine by divine right and under grace, that I am able to benefit and that it's of mutual benefit. So that's all I got to say about that. Is it's nice to want things, but you want the right thing for you. And the way that you know that is by how you feel. So don't judge by anyone else. The most important relationship that you have is between you and you. That's the only one that stays. It's the only one that's going to be here. So feel good, be positive as much as you can.
That's so 100%, Edward. That's so 100. That's a whole different aspect that we didn't really get to. I'm not gonna lie, we didn't really get to that because Dondrick, okay, had a whole situation that we had to try to maneuver.
Yes,
but that's a very, very good point, Edward, because that's the problem. People are so focused and stuck on the superficial, you know, and it's so vitally important. I feel like I would say everyone, but I feel like especially as women, right? Especially, you cannot try to maneuver through life as a man and think the way that they think and do things the way that they do it. I think as a woman, it's so especially because you're the one that's you know, the house of the children, right? You're the one that's the baby making oven, and the baby is literally in your body, so you have to be in control of your thoughts. It's very important. It's very, very important. It's very vital. I know that's real deep, but I'm just being honest. And so when we talk about that, like what you just said, people are looking through the eyes of the ego and through the eyes of vanity and saying, oh yeah, give me a man that drives this kind of car, and give me a man that has this job, and give me a man that's this tall, and give me the man that look like Morris Chestnut. Okay, give me a man that look like, you know, this, and he got to be a basketball player, but he got to be faithful, but he got to be romantic, but he got to be strong, you know. But it's give me a man that's going to be the best man for myself, that's going to allow me to be the best version of myself, that is divinely sent to me for a greater purpose, bigger than me.
Your complement, your
right.
Yin to yang.
That's so much more important than what the person looks like. Because if they're for you, they're going to be obviously what you like, right? They're always going to be somewhat of your taste. But there's so much a bigger thing than that. Like, you can have two people that may be very good looking. This gonna be a little controversial, but that don't mean the baby gonna look good. Okay, that don't mean the baby gonna be cute. Okay, that don't mean nothing. Just because you have two people that are fitting in a certain criteria that look really great does not mean that third equal is gonna be anything spectacular. Okay, that's just being honest. And it also doesn't mean that they're going to be anything to be able to help you raise your child to become the best version, or to become the adult that you weren't able to become without working on yourself, you know, stable households. So that's a great point. That's a great point. Of course, Kashawn, please bring it home.
About an hour and a half now. I need to talk now.
I know. Kashawn took a break and came back.
I had to, because it just went the whole left field. And I understand, I think we all understood where he was coming from. But at the same time, what I got from it, because of my situation, I could tell he has started to work, but he's like in the middle. He like started to work and like stop. Because I remember hearing him say that I don't even carry those emotions with me. Yes, you do. Whether you know it or not, you carry those emotions with you. Right. Those emotions don't leave until you deal with them. Until you look them in the face and deal with them, they're going to be right there hanging on. Right. And they're going to affect everything in your life. They're going to affect the way you work. They're going to affect every relationship you have until you take the time to deal with it. So, like I always say, self-work comes before anything else. Before we can even get to the bigger picture of anything, you got to work on yourself first. You got to work on your mental health, your spiritual health, and your physical health before you can focus on anything else.
Gotcha.
And that's one of the things I know is that men is working on, and there are some women that are working on it, but not enough There's too many women that are pushing it to the side. Whereas more men are stepping up and working on it, it's more women running away from it than it should be. And that's something that needs to be focused on. It's something that needs to be pulled out.
It's so
and
true.
Once we get that worked on and fixed, then we can start focusing on the other issues at hand. Then we can come together with whole people to do some greater things. But first, we got to make ourselves whole.
Oh man, and that was a whole other aspect of that conversation. To be young, right? To be young and to be searching, especially for knowledge, you get so overwhelmed in your brain and you kind of like overflow it. But the focal point, as we all know, is our households. Again, if our home front isn't right, what else can we really talk about? Like, you can't even have a functioning relationship with your counterpart. What else are we supposed to be talking about? How are we gonna talk about what you want to talk about the school system for? You don't even know what's going on at the school because you're too busy fighting with your husband and talking about he liking somebody's picture on Instagram. So what are you talking about? Like, what are you really talking about? You don't even know what kind of grades your kids got. Okay, you don't know nothing that's going on because your focal point is Instagram, social media, and what so and so husband did and praying somebody else's prayer. Like, we're so far gone that's why, like, even me, you know, certain conversations I'm like, I don't want to talk about that because we need to talk about this because y'all always want to, you know, once you get into a corner, that's the nature of a woman, you know. That's how I knew that the effects of his mother are still residing in him, because the nature of a woman is if you back her into a corner and you said, no, you were disrespectful and you said this to me, she's gonna miraculously be like, well, the other day, you know, and put the conversation somewhere else, right? Move the goalpost and just start talking about something that's way over here that had nothing to do. So now we're not focused on this, we're focused on this instead, you know? And it's, we have to get it together. I mean, I love that I look and I see all of these different conversations happening all the time. I genuinely enjoy it because it's so necessary for our growth as people, you know, literally as people, and for us, our ability to grow. We have to get our homes right. How are we going to change society if we don't build better relationships from our children's aspects? Let them grow up in stable homes, households, see what it's like, uplift them. You can do anything. You can be anything, whatever you want to be, whatever you want to do. That's how we're going to push the needle for the next generation. I think I see. I'm trying to wrap up, but I saw. I think is it Esso? I always see him, so I want to let him on so that he can say something. So Esso, you're gonna be the last person to speak, so you can go ahead and very briefly, whatever you want to add about the stream, feel free.
I do appreciate it. Thank you for that. And for letting me up. I was gonna say, yeah, just to piggyback on what you were saying, definitely have to realize that children are the future. And we have to stop pushing, you know, these same narratives on the children and give them something different to think about. Instead of, you know, the same thing that's been passed on to us, we have to have them thinking in a different way and embracing science, these not just relative terms, but, you know what I'm saying, these terms that we use, we have to actually have them define them and have them realize, you know, more of their history. And less of just the fake stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's so much fake out there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, no, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was saying I agree with that. And also, like, even when he was saying, I'm just using that for an example. I don't want to keep it all on him, but he's one who said it. But even when he was saying this stuff about the school systems, like, another point of that is, like, if you don't get your structure right, your mind is not even right. You don't even have any knowledge of what's going on yourself. So how are you any better to teach or assist your children? You're gonna have to leave them up to other devices if you don't gain that knowledge on your own. Because you can send your child to school, but you can also, there's other alternatives. I understand that everybody's not gonna homeschool, but even if you send your child to school, you should have an equally amount of time out for when they come home from school to find out what happened at school, what did the teacher talk about, what did they teach you in this, and have open dialogue with them about what you want them to know. Well, you can't do that if you're fighting and fussing and kicking each other down as soon as you guys get in the door. Like
Exactly, and that's what I know. And so many arguments over trivial things. You know what I'm saying? Like, still in this day and age, fighting over skin color, and you know what I'm saying. And it's crazy that more people aren't understanding how the history of these terms. I'm sorry, who's is that somebody's TV?
Oh, I don't know what that is.
But yeah, it's like I'm more of the opinion that, you know what I'm saying, more people should understand that these terms, they are so detrimental to our people, you know what I'm saying? And as a people, we got to understand that, when you say manifest, like in order to do that, you have to have the action to get the results. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, we got to put more forth effort to have the children understand their heritage, their ancestry, and why these things are important. And why we can't keep pushing the same narrative. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I was gonna say. Because we don't want to go back to Manifest Destiny. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, like Trail of Tears, you know what I mean? Like, information has to be passed on. Like, we got so much information at our fingertips that we're not using, that we're not understanding, like, how it can help not just the younger generation, but old people too. It's a lot of old people stuck in their ways, and you know what I'm saying, not understanding why they can't pass on anything, because these properties, they tax to death and they don't even own them. They only caretaking for them. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I agree with that, and I think it was Uncle. Y'all know I love Uncle. Okay, he an OG. I love Uncle. He's so funny. But he said, I don't know what he said about Generation X or whatever. I'm not gonna be honest. I don't know like the proper term to the baby boomers. I really don't know. I just be saying stuff that I don't know though. I really don't know the time frames. But what I do know is that I feel like around like our generation, like the introductions into technology, like we remember not having it and then like having it and kind of
in the 90s.
Yeah, that's like one aspect. But like when you have like these kids that have everything to their fingertips, that's when the parents really need to be on the same page.
Exactly.
Really need to be able to have open-ended conversations. And as Esso said, so trivial things. I don't know how, guys, listen, I really tried. Okay. I don't know how I'm gonna break this down to have these conversations about like stuff like leave him alone when he on his phone. That's not your phone. You don't pay that bill. That's Instagram. That's not the same as real life. He's liking a picture. He's in the house with you. Like, I don't know how we can have this dialogue, but there's so many of these trivial arguments. I can't even say conversations. Oh, thank you. Somebody's enlightening me in the comments. I appreciate that. There's so many of these trivial arguments about stuff that does not genuinely matter. And the kids are just out there raising themselves. If you want to take it there, they just they know all types of stuff that you think they don't know. Oh, you think they don't know? Oh, they know.
And that's
they
can call you on your shit.
They learn it when they go to school.
Right. And they will definitely call you on it. They have phones, so they can just look up what you're saying and say, okay, no, you're wrong. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And how are you going to teach the kids if you're misinformed? You don't know yourself.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna end on that. I appreciate you letting me up.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me talk.
Of course. Yes, thank you so much, Esso. Thank you. Yeah, come on. Listen, one thing I want to say about my family over here at Rivah TV is your vibe definitely attracts your tribe. And I appreciate that so much because, we can talk about some stuff, but once we start getting into different aspects, i.e. spirituality, manifestation, and all this kind of, like, that's a whole different, I'm ready to go another 3 hours. Okay?
Yeah, I already know.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
We're going to have to plan that conversation. We're going to have to really talk about some stuff because I really love that, like, you can be on a certain frequency and other people just attract to you and can bring other aspects of that conversation. So we definitely have to talk about that. Definitely got to talk about that. But I really enjoyed this live stream. Like I said, we were talking to Dondrick, right? We were talking to Dondrick for a while. And at first I was like, okay, what does this have to do with the topic at hand? And then I realized mid-conversation that, you know what, this has everything to do with it because the same woman that we're talking about in the aspect of take me as I am, more times than not has already had a child, right? Might be a single mom, going to church and listen to what the pastor say, and pastor said you're gonna manifest a husband, you write your list, you do this, you do that. They have all this criteria of who they want to be with, who can and who cannot, be allowed to be in a relationship with them, and all of this, not realizing that same woman is pushing that same thing to her children as well, and teaching them the same things, right? And even when it comes to something as strict as diet and health and wealth, they're not teaching them all that. Oh, take me as I am, or take me at like this. Oh, well, this is just how I eat. So if he don't like that, and it's like, no, but you have high cholesterol. Like,
right.
No, but like, you probably should watch the sugar. But you kind of need some water. Like, you're dehydrated, you need water. And they don't teach them these things because of this whole take me as I am is like a broad statement that covers a multitude of different aspects, not only relationships. It's keeping them bound and hindered in a box, literally within their lives. So it's definitely an issue, definitely a problem. Let me know in the comment section down below again what you guys think about this entire stream. If anybody has anything to say, go ahead and say it, because we can end it off right here.
Thank you, Rivah.
Love you. I had fun.
Keep doing what you do.
Thank you guys, and thank you guys all for sharing this space with me, and being on here for such a while, like, and helping me, maneuver through the conversation. I really appreciate you guys' perspective all the time. I really, really do. And also, I normally do my stream on Monday nights. I did it on Wednesday because I had something to do on Monday, but we're going to be right back on Monday. Okay, Monday we're going to be full-fledged, same time. And I hope to see you guys all here. I'm going to try to think of a really good conversation that we can talk about, especially based off of this conversation that we had tonight. We have a lot of stuff to think about. So thank you guys always for coming on and having these conversations. I always say, I'm like, I'm going to be on here for a little bit. I am not going to be on there for 4 hours. Here we are again.
You want Eastern time?
So I love that you guys are talking to me. I love spending this time with you, and I love hearing you guys' perspective. I feel like it's so much different than my reactions. My reactions is me, commenting on something that I see, but this is like us actually getting to like hang out. So I really, really like that. So thank you guys.
Yeah, this is dope. I appreciate it.
Of course, yeah. And please, everybody who's on this panel, you're welcome anytime. You just, I'll drop the link. You guys just pop up, and we can have as much dialogue as you guys want to have. So thank you guys so much. I genuinely love you guys from my heart. I'm very emotional all the time. So
it's all right.
Ain't nothing wrong with
this. See you guys next time.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
You can step into my world, see the way I see it, no matter near or far. It is a sight worth seeing. Step into my world, see the way I see it. Rivah TV.